and floor director.
Welcome to the Tom Barnard Podcast, brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers at minnesotapersonalinjury.com with
Co-host Kristyn Burtt.
Alex Barnard Rasmussen.
Andy Barnard.
And Kristyn Burtt.
and Kristyn Burtt.
And say Robert.
And say
Ixnay.
Robert.
Because last time you forgot me and Fawn. You didn't let us say our name.
I think there's someone just to your right that doesn't want me to say your name.
You could say his name. People
Yeah.
know his name.
Okay, I'll say his name then. Tom Barnard and Dopey. Oh, isn't that your name?
Dopey.
No.
No. He goes, no.
Kristyn, do you know what this is? Not being in the realm of children.
Yeah, we've talked about
I like a
him.
squishy. I like the
Squishy.
butter squishies. Does anyone have a butter squishy?
I will say,
They
Fawn,
have the butter.
okay, Sage, stop.
Oh my God,
Stop
Sage.
screaming like a wild animal.
You're a
Um,
wild animal.
Fawn has a couple butter squishies. Sage has, what? 1, 2? I don't even know. They're fun, but they get really disgusting really fast, and you can't like wash. These ones you can give a bath and like clean them. The butter ones, it's like a sponge, so they just like
Oh, yeah.
Get rid
Become
of
like
all.
dirty and yeah. What about the ones that are the dumplings, like the glitter dumplings? That you get
the
at Five
glitter
Below?
dumplings you can give a bath. Yep, those are fine.
They're all the rage, Tom.
They're all the
the
rage. I'm glad to hear
Got a
that.
gum
No
drop.
question. All right, quick mention here. I've gotten so far 4 or 5 phone calls asking me about this. It was announced today in the president's office, President of the United States, Donald Trump. Person in his studio today was Mike Lindell, who is running for governor of Minnesota. And I told everybody that called me today or left them a message, no, I am not going to run for lieutenant governor. It ain't happening. Forget it.
Nope.
I have, God bless them. Do you guys serve your country and all the rest of it? I don't think you'd want me to be your lieutenant governor.
No, that would be bad.
That would be really bad.
That's
Also-
in case the governor gets incapacitated or dies or something. It's like the backup governor.
Then you take over.
Yep.
Well, and it's
Pretty much.
also
The backup governor dies.
Then there's the lieutenant governor, I think.
I like
or
that.
something.
I'm mentioned as lieutenant governor. He's got me dead already. Well, what's that
you
all
probably
about?
wouldn't qualify anyway.
What are you talking about?
I don't know that you can hold a official government job if
Why
you have
not?
Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah, I
Well,
suppose.
Joe
Well,
Biden
maybe.
did for a long time.
Yeah, Joe
Wow.
Biden did for
Well,
quite some time.
Was he?
Donald
does he
Trump
actually
is
have
too.
Alzheimer's?
His dementia.
He clearly has.
I think, at this point, we got 2 in a row that have something wrong with their
Yeah,
brains.
that's something. It's just
We're hoping for a
age.
third next.
Age, yeah.
Oh, God.
Also.
There was
Let's
a
hope for a 35-year-old next time around.
there was a discussion on the internet about like we need a president that's not a politician. Who should be the next president? And a bunch of people said Dolly Parton.
Well,
Ah.
She's even older than Donald Trump. Isn't she like
Yeah.
almost 90?
She's in her 80s for sure.
Yeah. So it's
I
like
love
I
her,
think we've
though.
had plenty of presidents in their 80s.
also, Donald
Thank
Trump
you.
wasn't a politician.
That's
No.
true. He wasn't a
No.
politician.
She's 80, so she's the same
She's only-
exact age as Donald Trump.
Huh.
You
Well,
just gave me a great memory back in the KQ days. I don't know how many years ago it was. It could have been 30 years ago or whatever. I announced her. What? So I announced that she's on the show, and she goes, "Well, good morning, Tommy." Like, oh,
How do you
Dolly
not
Parton.
love her?
Oh, I loved her. She's a wonderful. She's still alive, right?
She's alive. She's had a couple of
That's
health problems
great.
over the past year, but she's been
Yeah.
out and about now,
Yeah.
so I think she's feeling better. I want someone to do a biopic on Dolly Parton and her
Yes.
friendship with Kenny Rogers. And I say
Yeah.
friendship with air quotes
Oh.
in case anyone's just listening.
Do you
So-
guys remember that cloned sheep like 20 years ago or whatever? Dolly the sheep?
Yeah.
Do you remember why the sheep was named Dolly?
Nope.
It was named Dolly after Dolly Parton, but there was a reason for that.
She was pardoned from.
The reason that the sheep was cloned, it was cloned from mammary tissue.
Oh,
And the
God.
scientist said, when you think mammaries,
Oh, God.
you
think
think Dolly
of-
Parton.
Yeah.
Oh,
boy.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Dolly's
Well, you
probably
can't
got
get
about-
mad because she jokes about that. So
Yeah,
she
exactly.
talks about her
Yeah,
plastic
that's true.
surgery.
Yeah, she's
So-
got to have about 6 implants in each one of those babies.
I don't even know.
Like clusters.
How to-
Yeah, I bet you she
Oh.
floats.
What, her
Real
age?
well.
I know it's like a
Ugh,
skeleton
I'm like-
with hot air balloons.
The back
that's
issues
not
that
very nice,
people
though,
age.
is it?
I mean, just people get back problems as they age. Generally,
Believe me, I
speaking,
know.
and I can't. Well, you're as you age. You're. Give me a break.
Yeah, think of how I'll be at 80. That's why
Yeah,
I'm not
I
getting
don't-
implants.
I don't
Think
even.
about it.
There we go.
So we got a
Think
couple
about it.
things to address. Apparently, Dan was on the CBS local news.
It was on.
So is this the right thing right here?
Yep.
This is the right thing. All right.
There
So
it is.
Well, on Channel 4.
Dan, our son-in-law, Alex's husband.
That's the one.
yes, that's right.
In case you don't know,
The children's is his dad.
here.
Yep.
All right. So is he right at the beginning, or should I skip ahead?
I mean, there's like a tiny little thing of a guy talking, and
skip
then
around.
it goes into Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
it's been
'Cause we
very
have-
very hot.
We have an extreme heat warning since
this?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. This is when he.
Around here?
Do we have audio?
We're about to.
Oh, okay.
There he is.
Or maybe.
Are we about to? Why not work?
Why is he wearing glasses?
Why you
I've
suck.
never even seen.
I
him
have
with
never
a pair
seen
of
him wear glasses.
He
in
wears
my life.
glasses at
Let me-
work.
Let
He's
me.
looking more officious.
Well, he
I
wears
see why.
glasses at his job every day because he's on a screen all day every
Oh.
day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he needs-
Also running for park board.
He is
rep,
running for
so
park
he
board
has to
as
look
well. But
official
this has
these
nothing to
days.
do with him
Park
running
board.
for park board.
All right, here's Dan.
They're generating inside their homes.
Dan Rasmussen is a senior marketing manager at Xcel Energy.
So the biggest heat producing culprits or appliances in our homes are our oven and stovetop, our clothes dryer, and our dishwasher. When those are running, your AC is having to work extra hard to combat the heat that those are generating.
That means instead of cycling off, AC units will keep running for longer stretches as they try to cool the heat emanating from kitchens, laundry rooms, and spaces nearby. And our appliance use often coincides with the hottest part of the day.
It's that peak part of the middle afternoon that your AC is just working overtime.
So how can we ease the appliance strain on our AC? Two ways.
Was that the whole appearance?
Change up the timing and
Oh,
change
okay.
up the methods.
The best time to use these appliances are earlier in the morning, let's say before 11 a.m. or in the evening, maybe after 8 p.m., just when that outside temperature starts to ease off.
When it comes to changing the methods, you can grill your food or use a slow cooker instead of the oven or the stovetop. And you can dry your clothes on a rack or a clothesline
Sure.
outside
Yeah,
instead of using
I'll
the
get
dry
right on
machine.
that. That one pair of pants you got there.
Minnesota here, it's hot and it's humid. So many of us have a dehumidifier running in our basements. Those produce so much heat, way more than you would think. So consider trying to run those overnight or forgo having those on during a heat wave.
Electronics like TVs,
That was him.
gaming
was
consoles,
him?
and computers produce
All
heat
right.
at smaller
Yay,
rates.
Dan
Yay!
Rasmussen!
Fawn will clap for her own dad.
He did it.
Way to go, Fawn.
Who I'd like to know. I mean, it's great advice. All the things he said, I agree with 100%. But who in their right mind would run the oven when it's 95 degrees
that's good.
outside?
I
I
had,
know.
I had it on last night.
Really?
Oh, God.
I
I
was
would-
making dinner,
A
And he
toaster
was-
oven, perhaps,
and
but not
we
the
don't
oven.
have a toaster oven, and he was
Oh.
like,
Get
Alex,
one.
I was literally just on the news talking
Yeah.
about how you can't have your oven on, and I
Way
was
to
like,
go.
well, what are we supposed to do?
And seriously, get a
Alex,
toaster.
what do you
That's
keep
all
your
we
house at since you are married to an energy expert?
Say at least 80.
During the day, it's like 73.
Mm-hmm.
And then at night, we have to keep our house isn't old, but it just doesn't do an efficient job of cooling the top floors, which
Oh,
is where
yeah.
we all sleep.
Yep.
So we have to turn it down to like 69 at night.
69,
so
dudes.
See?
So the
We're gonna be a 6'7".
yeah,
6'7" would be too cold, I think.
67 would be very cold.
There you
But like
go.
when we wake up in the morning and we go downstairs, our main floor is cold because
Yeah.
Feels so nice.
yeah, but then it goes up during the day. But yeah.
Ladies and
basement is
gentlemen,
hot.
Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. And that was Dan. What's his title? Dan the Big Shot Rasmussen? Is that his title?
That's it.
Dan XL Rasmussen,
He's a
Dan
SME.
XL Rasmussen.
He's a SME. Do you know what a SME is?
like from
No.
Hook.
Senior
Subject matter expert.
There
Oh.
we go.
A
He's
SME.
He is a
SME.
SME.
And then I also got an email from Joe. Apparently, today is Twitter's 20th anniversary.
Twitter?
Really?
Also known as
Oh.
X for those of you who are
I
too cool.
cannot
that's right,
believe
yeah.
it's 20 years old.
Well, I can show you. I before the show, I was actually downloading a couple of screenshots, courtesy of the Wayback Machine, of how Twitter has looked over the years. So we can look at that real quick.
Oh, that's fun.
Here's the earliest screenshot I could get of Twitter's login page.
And that was what, 20 years ago?
20 years ago, right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When did the bird
sounds
come
fun.
in? They took away the
Um,
bird.
Yeah.
I
Oh, that's right,
quite a
Twitter, the
while
bird.
later. I don't think any of the screenshots I downloaded 8 of them, one per year, and none of them have the bird. So here's
Looks like
number
it's
2. Looks pretty much the same.
1950.
Mm-hmm.
I know it looks ancient.
Are we just every 5 years going to get a new social media
Yep.
Yeah.
thing
Pretty
for
much.
the
Yes,
next
we
set
are.
of people?
Oh, there's 3. That's got a bird on it. It's not the bird, but it's a
Oh,
bird.
yeah.
It's a bird on a branch.
What is Twitter?
What is
Nobody
What
knew.
is no one knew back
Still,
then.
what is
This
it?
is like 2009, so yeah. It was
Well, I
still-
was already on Twitter by then.
no wow
20 years
2009.
ago?
Mhm.
20 years.
I had a Twitter for like a year, and then I was like,
Facebook's
well,
got to be really old then.
World Cup 2010.
heyo.
They're talking about it,
Uh,
and then here's 2011. Oh yeah, there you go.
There's the bird.
the
there.
That
bird's
looks
in the
more
logo.
familiar.
It's pretty
Little bit
much.
different,
It's
yeah.
close to the bird, but it's. And then they go back to this weird sterile, like corporate login screen. I don't know.
Log
And then they make it a little more interesting, but still not very good. And then 8, it looks a lot more friendly.
Who started Twitter again? I forget.
Jack Dorsey.
Jack
Jack
Dorsey,
Dorsey.
that's right.
Dorsey, jeez.
That's right.
Haven't heard that name in a while.
I don't know.
Speaking of FIFA World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
there is actually a really big game going on at 2, England versus Argentina. Whoever wins goes on to the finals.
Oh, this is the semifinals.
It's
It's Argentina versus England today.
yeah. Whoever
Oh, okay.
whoever wins plays Spain in the finals.
And that's the
MetLife
sports
Stadium.
report from Sage Rasmussen.
And that's
Mhm.
our sport report.
So I have a question for Sage Rasmussen.
What?
Since you have English in your blood, why aren't you pulling for England?
It probably is now.
No.
Argentina?
Because they were the ones who took.
Because
out-
Messi's on Argentina.
Oh, you didn't like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
England beat Norway,
Messi's.
so
Look
England's
at me
the
with all of my
underdogs.
soccer knowledge. Thank you very much.
Yeah, look at you.
Norway became kind of the like FIFA darlings for a while because they didn't qualify for
Yeah.
like 30 years, and then they made it so far, and then they had their Erling Haaland guy who everybody adores, and
Yeah.
so they became the FIFA darlings, and then they got eliminated, and so now everyone's sad that they're gone.
Now everyone's
Ah.
mad at
There
England.
you go.
Even people that aren't Norwegian.
So it's
at
going to
all.
be
They
so
really did kind of capture the hearts of
did,
everybody.
yeah.
so the final's going to be Spain versus either England or Argentina.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah, and that'll be at MetLife Stadium, so it's on the East Coast. We just wrapped up our World Cup festivities here in LA, and it was a really fun month.
Right.
Every bar was filled, like all of this, TVs were on. Lots of money
Yeah.
was spent, which I think was good. And there were a lot of just
Yes.
like outdoor activations where people could collectively come to a spot, watch it on a big screen. People were at the malls, because all of our malls are outdoors. So all the
Oh,
malls
right.
out here did something. It was really kind of fun.
I'm loving these soccer-tastic scores. 2-1,
I know.
1-2, 3-1.
One.
And
Sage.
this is the quarterfinals of the World Cup, by the way. This is exciting as it gets, folks.
Sage, we looked up
It's not high scoring.
how far an average professional soccer player runs during one game.
It's got to be like
and it
4
was
miles.
6 to 8.
Yeah.
6 to 8.
Oh.
The soccer pitches are
Yeah.
gigantic.
They're
I've
huge.
said for so long, soccer pitches need to be like a third of the size. Then it'll be much more interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know
That's what
why they're
Sage
so
plays
big.
on.
That is large.
I don't know why they're so big. There's nothing going on in 99% of the
They're
pitch.
humongous.
Yeah, because the FIFA World Cup players and professional soccer players can kick super far, and the goalkeeper can kick the farthest, and they could easily kick it into the goal, and
Let's-
then it would be worth 2 points every time.
Let's make this pitches small, but then the ball 10 times as heavy. They have to kick a medicine ball around. How about that?
All right, to
Break
break
their
free,
ankle.
break free of sports. You should point out last night the All-Star game was about as boring as it gets.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a
Although-
baseball all-star game.
I know the
Ugh.
All-Star game's never been
Sounds-
interesting. I
What is
agree.
the All-Star game?
That's all the highest rated, most popular.
Oh, it's like that
Players.
fantasy football, but for baseball, but also for real.
Yeah.
Do the fans
Well,
vote them onto the team, or is it selected
right.
by owners? Or Does
Yeah.
anyone know?
I don't know who's. I have no idea because basketball has an all-star game too, which nobody ever cares about.
I don't know. It sounds like it should be interesting if it's all the stars, right?
I care about everything about basketball.
You do, it's true, but most people don't care about the all-star game. Okay, see you later. Love you so much.
Okay, see you later.
Bye-bye.
That's nice. Yeah, so the score last night was 4-0. The American League beat the National League. And I'm a huge baseball fan, but I've never cared about the All-Star game. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nothing comes of it, so whatever.
Did they
Where
get
was it?
I don't even know. That's kind of
I don't either.
All-Star game?
I don't know where
I
they
wonder.
played the game.
It was in Philadelphia, Citizens Bank Park,
Oh, there you go. Okay.
hosted by the Phillies.
The Phillies.
Oh, because it was the 250th. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
That's right.
they made
That
it
makes
like a
sense.
thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
4-0. That's a pretty low-scoring baseball game, is it not?
No, not really.
It's not.
No, it's pretty average. I would guess somebody winning 4-3, 4-2,
Huh.
5-3. It's right in the ballpark.
Well, in last year it was 7-6, so that's a lot higher scoring.
That'll happen. No question about it. But as we move on to the entertainment world, I need to be entertained. That's
You
all.
need
I
to
have
be
to say.
entertained. I'll tell you right now, everyone is just fighting over this Paramount Warner Brothers thing. It just
Oh God, yes.
it's bad. I mean, and we've talked about this for months. For months, we've been on the show talking
Yep.
about it, and
Yep.
I mean, the fact that 12 states filed a lawsuit trying to block the merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers. Minnesota's in there.
Of course we are.
Mhm.
Arizona, California,
Yes, it
Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, and Washington. A lot of these states have either Paramount offices or they've got a big stake in terms of
Oh,
filming and things like that. New Mexico, for sure. New Jersey's building a bunch of studios out there as well. And
Well, how does Minnesota even qualify to comment? What's it
that
got to do with Minnesota?
Because Keith Ellison loves to sue companies.
Yeah, he does
corporations.
love to
He
sue
loves
companies.
to
That's
sue
very
people.
lucrative.
Yes.
but
And he also
the-
gets a lot of press. He loves press.
Yep.
This is led by California, though, by the way, Rob Bonta, who is
Yeah,
our attorney general. But they're saying that the merger is illegal under the Clayton Act of 1914, prevents mergers that may undermine competition or create a monopoly.
Clayton
And-
is a dog.
I laugh only because it happens constantly.
I know, for
continually.
It's true.
It's like it's supposed to be illegal, but they do it.
Mhm.
They do it
nonstop.
anyway. And here's the thing, too. If the Paramount Warner Brothers merger does not go through, if it does get blocked, someone else is going to want to scoop up Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has to find a way to get rid of their debt to have someone else buy them because otherwise
Oh,
they won't
God.
exist either.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah. So they're just going to dissolve if they can't get bought?
I don't know. And everyone's just like, well, make Paramount, because, you know, now the Ellisons are threatening to leave California, and you've got two major studios that they're hoping to own. And everyone's like, declare them, you know, national historic places, you know, and register them. But I was like, it's not that simple, because as we talked about even during our election, when we had our primaries last month, Burbank, where Warner Brothers is not a part of the city of Los Angeles. It's part of the county of Los Angeles,
Oh,
so the
that's
city
right.
can't name it. And then
Yep.
Paramount is within the city limits, so it's all very confusing.
So is WB doing that poorly?
Yes, David Zaslav, who was the CEO of Warner Brothers, ran that place into the ground.
did,
that's a
yeah.
shame.
Ran that place into the ground. And
And why
of
did he
course,
do it?
as he's exiting, you know, they're like, here is your bonus for leaving.
Yeah.
For being mediocre, here's $100 million.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, do you remember when they had
they do.
the Warner Brothers channel on? I think it was cable, right?
Yep.
The WB.
WB, yeah,
Um,
that was on broadcast.
At least 20 years ago, The Simpsons made a joke about the WB channel.
Yep.
They had a fake promo for it with Michigan J Frog singing. Coming up next on the WB,
Oh,
another bad show that no
yeah.
one will see. And that was 20 years ago. So
Well,
There you have it.
Yeah, so we'll see how this
Yeah.
all plays out. We'll be talking about it for months. Now they are
Right.
the UK might be getting involved as well, trying to block the merger because
I've seen
the
that.
UK has a massive stake in the entertainment industry as well, and it will impact the financial outlook of Hollywood there too. So we're going to see how this plays out because it's not just a national issue; it's an international issue.
What are the current like big WB IPs?
Well, right now they own HBO, so that's one thing.
Oh,
Oh,
All
okay.
HBO
that's not
properties
new
are
or something.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
that would be like where their value is at this point?
Warner Brothers studio lot is worth a fortune. I mean that I did the
Yeah.
Warner Brothers studio tour. My mom was here in the spring, and I haven't done it in a while. It's amazing. It's probably one of the best things to do if you visit Los Angeles. They do such a
I'm a
good
s-
job with that, and to lose that would be tragic.
Do they
Right.
still own the rights? I'm assuming to like Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes and all that stuff.
I don't
Warner
know if
Brothers.
those are
Yeah, wasn't that them? Didn't they have like the Bugs
Public
Bunny
domain now.
logo and all that stuff?
I don't know who owns that.
I think that was Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be public domain by now?
Bugs Bunny is the official mascot of Warner Brothers
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
So do they?
Yep.
Huh. Well,
They
there's
don't
like
do
a.
On the studio lot, they don't do a ton with that because it's about TV and film, not
That's true.
animation per se. So
Well, but you think they could leverage that into something? I don't know.
Well, what's going to end up happening is some private equity will buy it, shake it up into 1,000 different pieces and sell it off bit by bit, like they do with
and
everything.
then it'll
Yep.
all go bankrupt anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, the newest thing, we've got dentists being bought up by private equity, so dental costs are,
Yep.
going to the dentist has gone
Mm.
sky
Yep.
high. We've got veterinarian offices are being bought up. Now I guess it's bowling alleys.
Bowling
They're
alley.
buying up
saw
bowling alleys and
that.
they're surge pricing on families. So now
Why?
it costs like $150 for a family to go and bowl for like an hour and a half. It's outrageous.
That is
I
Everything.
saw that
outrageous.
same report, and they were like,
Yeah.
bowling was considered the middle class activity that was affordable. You
Yeah.
could take your family, no matter how big it was, for a low cost price, like on a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon, or have a birthday party there.
Right.
Not anymore.
No.
Hmm.
They're
Oh,
buying
what are
them
you
all
gonna
up.
do?
So the Warner Bros. Merger is specifically Warner Bros. Discovery, which is a something entity under Warner Brothers. So that's Warner Brothers Entertainment, which, like you said, is the studio facilities, but it's also DC Studios, DC Entertainment, Fandango,
Mhm.
Flagship Entertainment,
CNN
Warner
is
Bros.
under there.
Pictures. Yeah, Castle Rock Entertainment's under there. I mean, this is a lot of stuff. And yeah, the television studios, including animation, Turner Classic Movies, Hanna-Barbera,
Wow.
all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
I
A
mean,
lot of-
And the
There's a lot
concern on
there.
the news side too is with all of the pivot of CBS News,
Yeah.
if they get their hands on CNN too, it does change the media landscape as well.
No question. Now,
Yeah.
I got to ask you, I got to take a break here in a second, but I got to ask you, when I hear the words Warner Brothers, what pops into my head immediately?
Looney Tunes
Well,
songs.
I will say
I was like
Looney,
Friends.
Looney Tunes is part of it, but what actually appears in my head when I hear Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes?
I don't know.
You ready?
Daffy Duck.
Kill the wabbit,
Oh.
kill the
It's because
wabbit.
mom sings that every day.
That's
I was like,
because
He sings it
that's
every
because
day.
Jude hates rabbits. So every time we see a rabbit, we're going, kill
You've got
the
bunnies in your
rabbit."
yard.
Oh,
Yep.
so
Oh,
So many.
God.
many.
They're so
rabbits.
cute though. They're very cute.
We
They're
have
adorable.
rabbits. We have a fenced in yard, and we still have rabbits in our yard. They come into our yard and they den there, even though we have a dog.
Yep.
And they can't escape. They're just the dumbest animals in the world.
Not the wabbits.
They're very, very dumb.
I was gonna say,
Don't
what's a
kill the
bidip, bidip,
rabbit.
bidip, bidip. That's all, folks.
I
Yeah.
loved it. Absolutely
the
loved that as a
rabbit.
kid. No question. I really do miss watching cartoons as a little boy. I thought it was wonderful.
There is nothing stopping you as an adult. You have free will.
That's true.
That's
That's true. It's a lot better than
Yeah.
regular television. Anyway, how bad is television's taking some huge hits on viewership, aren't they? People don't watch TV anywhere near as much as they used to.
We talked a little bit about Netflix is having people coming back
Yeah.
for season 2. And in
Yeah.
some ways it's a shame because some of the shows that saw lower views for season 2, their season 2s were actually better than the first season. Running Point was a good example.
Yeah.
Man on the Inside, which is Ted Danson's show, was
Yep.
so good.
That was good.
That was the third season. And it's one of those things like unless you have a Stranger Things type of property, it's really hard to get people to come back. But I think it is the fact that we've got so many choices. A lot of people just prefer scrolling on TikTok. Younger generations not watching TV. Like, honestly, if you're 35 and up, you're propping up TV. 35 and under, they're not watching it.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not watching TV anymore. So that's going to be, it's going to be very, very different. I got to ask you a question about Ted Danson. Is he nuts?
No, he's actually very nice.
Is he really?
He's very nice. Yeah.
I still will never understand him appearing in blackface. What was that all
He
about?
just did a podcast on that, and he was
Oh,
like,
did he?
everyone has a right to be mad at me. He goes, I look back on that as just really an awful choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's very apologetic and very open about talking about it. He's not like, oh, we're not talking about that anymore. So I think
that's
that
good.
at least address it, confront it. And
Yeah.
he just recently did a podcast. I don't know whose it was, but I found the conversation refreshing, and that he was willing to talk about it and accept accountability and be like,
Sure.
that was a really bad idea, even though it was a roast. You know, you can't say like, oh, well, it was a roast, it was no big deal. It's
Yeah.
never acceptable, even at a roast.
No.
Well, wasn't he dating what's her name at the time?
Dating Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's a really bad choice. I'm dating a black woman, so I'm going to wear blackface.
Yeah, that
What?
was a really stupid thing to do.
What a
Yeah.
stupid idea. All right, we got to take a quick break. Come right back.
Idiota.
I was like him though. I thought it was pretty good on that show, whatever it was called.
Cheers.
Yeah, you know.
Cheers. Yeah, there you go. Well, it's been gone for a while.
It has.
Yeah.
Have
Oh,
you
wow.
seen a case where someone decided to represent themselves in court? Did it go well? Of course not, because law is hard. That's why I recommend Bradshaw and Bryant personal injury lawyers to help you navigate the labyrinth that is the justice system. If you've been injured and need legal help, just visit minnesotapersonalinjury.com or call 320-259-5414 to talk to one of the great lawyers. Now, do you think Michael Bryant wrote that last line?
Probably.
I
One of the
wrote all of these actually.
Well, you did.
Yep, I wrote every single one.
One of the great lawyers at Bradshaw and Bryant.
Well, I did have to run it by him, so I made sure to gas him up a little bit.
Yeah, I got to gas him up.
I suppose.
Joe wants to know if you've heard anything about something. Young Guns, Dead or Alive.
Like
Young
old school
Guns?
Young Guns from the 80s.
I'm guessing Dead or Alive is the reboot because they're rebooting literally everything.
I know.
Uh,
Like Lou Diamond Phillips and Christian Slater.
I'm not seeing anything new. Oh yeah, everything we know about Young Guns 3, Dead or Alive. Yeah, it looks like they're bringing it back 37 years later.
They announced
Why
in
not?
2025. 4 months ago, they said it was going to film in New Mexico. Let's see.
So it's the same people?
Sounds like New Mexico.
So they'd be old guns then.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, no, there's not a whole lot of information out there about this.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
either, it just says that they're going to film in New Mexico, and that was 2026 update. So they may not be, let's see. Here's the New Mexico Film Office. Just trying to see if there's any updated information on this. It just announced that it's going to film in New Mexico. So it looks like they're
Right.
not filming just yet. And that was detailed in 2025. So
Yeah, so it might be a while.
yeah, or it might be held up with funding or something. Let's
Charlie
see.
says New Mexico is Hollywood East now.
Well, it'll
Oh,
be Hollywood
yeah.
Southeast. South by Southeast.
Yeah, let's see.
I
Still in
wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
development.
they probably have a better tax situation. than
Well, and if you
pretty
want
much any
to
place
shoot like a
does.
Western, New Mexico is probably one of the best
Right.
places to do it.
There's a lot of
Yep.
Southern California that looks a lot like that.
Yeah, but like you said, the taxes. I mean,
Yeah,
New Mexico and Southern California are basically the same thing, but New Mexico is more affordable. So
right.
why not
Yeah.
just go there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Charlie, I should apply to be a background actor. They don't make a ton. I think they make something
If
like
you're union,
$8
you
an
can
hour.
make no. If you're union, you're going to make it's about $200 for an 8-hour day, and then you get time and a half after that, and then after that you go into double time. At
Yeah, but
12
you don't
hours.
have to
the
work
union.
2 straight days to pay for 1 steak dinner.
Yeah.
And you get fed on set all day. It
Well,
depends.
that's
Like, if you go and do commercial extra work, I think the rate is like $400 for the day, and that's 8
Wow.
hours. And oftentimes, and the greatest thing you can ever do is commercial background work on a Sunday because you're getting paid double time the whole time. So you wind up with
Ooh.
thousands of dollars by the time you're done. It's a good
How
day.
do I get that job?
right?
I can be in the background. I'm in the
Needs to be
background all the time.
SAG after though.
No.
And just an update: Young Guns 2 is still just listed as pre-production, so that means they have not moved. Emilio
So it's gonna be a while.
Estevez.
Probably
It's
looking
going to
for
be a
money.
while. It says
Mhm.
Emilio Estevez is slated to direct. Christian Slater, Lou Diamond Phillips, and Emilio are in the cast, but again, there's no update on that IMDb page, so
Right.
no movement.
Oh,
Nothing at all.
Are people
Okay.
clamoring for Young Guns? I mean,
Clamor.
I don't think so. It was like that's why I was like,
Yeah.
Young Guns? You mean from like the 80s or 90s
Yeah.
or whatever it was?
1990, I think.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Just here's an update too on what Ted Danson said. He was on the podcast in June. I knew this was recent. Who's with me? And he basically said, I need to and want to apologize for the rest of my life because somebody today can go on the internet and go, what the fuck? Wow, I feel betrayed. I feel angry. He said, and I did that. He said he admitted that his affair with Whoopi was coming to an end and they had tried to get out of the roast, but it wasn't possible because the Friars Club had sold so many tickets. So my brain was going, okay, here is one of the most outrageous, funny black women in the world, and I'm supposed to be roasting her, and I'm not a stand-up. I can't run with the bull. So I'm like, God, what am I going to do? And I thought, well, I can do performance theater. And so that's how it kind of evolved. And then he
I mean, like,
realized that
It was
he
a-
stuck his finger in a light socket doing that.
yeah, it was a bad thing to do, but it was also a third of a century ago. I mean,
yeah. People need
there's
to get
there's a
over
statute
things.
of limitations on this thing.
Yeah, he said he thought he was doing a satire on mixed relationships, and he said I thought I was being edgy, and it was just
Yeah,
a
Fell
mess.
flat. Fell
It was
flat.
a
A lot of-
mess.
a lot of edgy comedy from the 90s. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are very.
But he
They're still
said-
mad about it 30 years later.
Yeah, and he just says I apologize. I was arrogant enough to think that I had something to offer, and he's sorry. And he said Whoopi did defend
Seems
him
like
for
the-
years, and he doesn't think she should have to.
There you go. Oh,
Seems
Fawn,
like a good
Fawn,
apology.
watch your language.
When you drop the Effenheimer, Fawny was in the corner. She's like,
Sorry, I didn't know the kids were still in the room.
It's okay. It's not like they've never heard it before.
Not for me.
It was my words.
Oh, no, it's turn on me.
It's Ted Danson's words.
Yes, that's
She
right.
was
It's Ted
quoting
Danson.
Ted
someone.
Danson
Yes.
said it.
She
so.
would never
Yep.
say a
Danson
naughty
said
word.
it. But anyway, if anyone wants to watch it, and the whole topic is called Ted Danson on Owning Your Mistakes on the Who's With Me podcast with W. Camus Bell.
I do like him as an actor, actually.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I mean,
think-
think about
yep.
the career he's had: The Good Place,
Yeah.
Man on the Inside, Cheers.
Yeah.
He did film. I mean, Three Men and a Baby.
That Cheers was one of the best series ever.
That was a good series.
Just meeting at the bar and saying ridiculous things.
I mean, I have to say, he doesn't have a ton of stretch. He's pretty much
No.
the same guy.
He's him, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never watched Man on the Inside. Is it good?
Yeah, it's cute.
It's very
It's fun.
enjoyable, and
Yeah.
each season brings like a different place where they're trying to solve the mystery.
Mhm.
And I think it's funny. I think it's very funny,
Yeah.
and I like that the ensemble cast is always well written and also well cast. So you see familiar faces, but it's pretty funny.
Definitely, you could fold laundry to that. I would.
I was gonna say I
Yeah.
always need a laundry clothing show.
Great show
Yeah.
to fold laundry
That's
to.
what I do.
Yeah,
when
he
I
did
watch
34
shows.
episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm just like Mr. Mayor. He did that on TV. He's
Oh, yeah,
done a
Mr.
lot.
Mayor.
Oh, that's right.
He did Fargo. He's done CSI Cyber. That's a pretty diverse body
Yeah,
of work if you
that's
think
true.
about it. Yeah.
Good for Ted.
Good for Ted. And
I
yay
have a-
for apologies and
sucker.
accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sincerity.
I have a
Yes.
question for you about Hollywood. I don't know this, but I saw an article early this morning. Is there a great actor out there who's kind of stepped back away from most acting? You know who I'm talking about?
What?
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah, we talked about Jack the other day.
I heard Jack's not going to be around much longer.
No?
We'll
No, is
see.
he
I mean, he looked good at the Lakers game.
Oh, good.
Earlier this
good.
year,
Glad
yeah.
to hear that.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's one of the greatest actors ever born.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny. That's right. Exactly.
So good.
I mean, look at all those great people. I did not know, by the way, that Natalie Wood went after so many guys in Hollywood.
What do you mean? went after.
Well,
That could mean
you
a
know,
lot of
first
things.
of all,
Yeah.
approached them in that way, and then went after them legally when she was done with them.
Hmm,
Oh,
fun.
I would say some of that.
maybe.
There's kids in the room.
No,
No, they
not
left.
anymore.
They left.
They left. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. I mean,
Burp.
there's a lot of allegations that Natalie Wood was, unfortunately, even when she was underage, raped
Yep.
by many, many famous actors.
Yep.
That's terrible.
And then there was a
Should all go to jail.
come to Jesus meeting after she turned old enough to figure it out.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
allegations around Kirk Douglas
Yep.
raping an underage Natalie Wood.
Oh my
Hmm.
God.
And
Yeah.
and
Would
yet
you-
here he had this very, very long, lucrative career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand the upside of dating a teenager when you're 50 years old. What is
But you're
that?
not dating her. You're not dating her.
No.
Let's
Oh, it's
use the
just
correct
sex.
language on that. No, you're
That's
raping
just
her.
sex.
You're
Yes.
raping her.
Yeah.
That's assault.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I-
You know, and
why-
I always get mad in the news when they're like, a teacher had a relationship with a student. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you didn't.
It's like
You
not a
did not.
relationship. Yeah.
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 Let's start using the correct terminology on this
That's
because
a good point.
Well, you
It
hear
scares
of
me.
so many teens that get into the industry and, they're out at the clubs, they're being served alcohol, they're
Yep.
being given drugs. They're like, oh, they're the
Yep.
greatest, latest thing. So it's called grooming.
Hmm.
and the sad thing too, because I'm still on my celebrity memoir kick. I've been listening to Hated Panettiers memoir, and you know, I said to a friend, I said, I've listened to so many of these, Jodie Sweet, and you just keep on going back to all of these child actors. Ione Skye was underage when she was working too, and a lot of it has to do with the parents, though, and it's
Yeah.
the parents who
Mhm.
are pushing the kids in terms of like, you've got to work, you've got to do this, you don't feel well, we got to go to set, we're going to get fired, and it starts to create situations where the kid doesn't trust the parents, or the parents are living
Sure.
off the kid, all of this like weird power imbalance, financial imbalance. There's very few child actors who walked through it unscathed, and if they did walk through it unscathed, it's probably because their families had money to begin with and the family didn't
Yeah.
need the kids money.
Mm.
So
Yeah. I've just never understood that. I am 50 and I want to date someone who's 16. What?
That's a power trip of some kind.
just
It's a
weird.
sick
Very
power
weird.
trip.
That's some weird
Yeah.
thinking is all I know.
yeah, and the music industry is really guilty of that as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Especially
God,
the old
yes.
school rockers. Margaret's talking about
Mm-hmm.
Ione Skye with Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers. She talks about moving in with him when she was under 18, having an abortion. I mean, just a lot of complicated things for a teen to be dealing with when someone is an
Yep.
adult.
Yeah.
It's awful.
All right, young lady, any closing words?
Any happier
happy
thoughts, please?
Yeah, one
Very
happy
happy
thought,
about-
please.
Yeah.
There are 2 series premiering today. If you are an Amazon Prime or Prime Video subscriber, Octavia Spencer and Hannah Waddingham's new show. And I just think it's going to be really fun because Octavia Spencer plays, she is being chased by American mobsters when she finds out her best friend is an assassin. So kind of like a female buddy. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Hannah Waddingham, she's from Ted Lasso.
Okay.
She's the lady that likes the biscuits all the time. Delightful.
The biscuits all
The
the time.
biscuits. She always has the biscuits with Ted Lasso. She's like the head of the soccer team.
I've
And
never
then
seen that
Lucky,
show.
which is Anya Taylor Joy's new series. That's based off of the book, if anyone's read the book Lucky. And she's like a retired mobster. Everything's about mobsters today. She becomes the target of an FBI agent and criminals after her lover makes off with $10 million. So
I mean,
Oh my
really,
God.
thank God for the mafia, because otherwise, what would
I
we do for
agree.
entertainment?
Yeah, for
yes,
real.
what would we do? That one's on Apple TV. Lucky's on Apple TV. Prime Video has Ride or Die with Octavia and Hannah.
Okay.
All right, we will talk to you Friday.
Friday. Yep, I'll be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kristyn Burtt, ladies and gentlemen, always taking care of business. Speaking of that, as a matter of fact, taking care of business, this segment is brought to you by Michael Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit minnesotapersonalinjury.com to learn more. We have a special guest coming up in a couple of seconds. Andy.
Yep, April, we're ready for you when you are. She looks like she's not got her camera and stuff on quite yet.
Oh, she doesn't have it on
Nope,
quite
there
yet.
she is.
There she is.
Hi,
got
how
her.
are
Brucker.
you?
I was going to wear that same shirt today.
I knew it. And then I should have said, "Here's Tommy."
Here's Tommy. There you go. I like that. That works for me. Ladies and gentlemen, April Brucker with us. Our guest today has accomplished something. Oh, listen to this. Accomplished something that few historians, scholars, or apparently sane people have ever attempted. She has written a 250-year history of talking dummies. Now, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Talking
So,
politicians?
you're going to go on the show and talk about talking dummies, how you go after them, and you just happen to show up where the host of this show was a former disc jockey for 55, 60 years. I'm just,
Are you taking this as an insult?
yes, would I be one of those
Personal?
dummies you're talking about?
Personal.
No, not at all. Actually, the funny thing is that 250 years of American ventriloquism back in the day,
Yeah.
and this was long before we had influencers and other people. Edgar Bergen, who was a ventriloquist from the 1930s, had a sidekick
Yep.
by the name of Charlie McCarthy. And Charlie
Yep.
McCarthy was a dummy, and Charlie got fan letters. And people had no idea. They
That's
had
true.
no idea. And they had no
Really?
idea that he wasn't real. So fast forward, you turn on the radio today, you get the comedy duo on the radio. You get the comedy duo on morning television. Ventriloquism set the gold standard. So I wouldn't say that you're a talking dummy. I'd say you're doing pretty good.
So far, so good. Is that what you're saying? I feel
Yeah.
better now.
And you're a big Jack Nicholson fan, I heard. Am I correct?
I love Jack Nicholson. One of the greats of all time.
Absolutely. Well, Johnny Carson started out as a ventriloquist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. It was in Nebraska, right?
Yep, and his sidekick
Wow.
Jeff. Well, anyway, Johnny didn't end up a ventriloquist, but he was always a big fan. And he used the skill that he got with his sidekick Jeff, and he brought that skill to late night television, and Ed McMahon was essentially his dummy. So here's Johnny.
Hi-oh.
I'm sure Ed would appreciate that. No question about it.
Yeah, well, that and after he brought you the ticket for the Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yes, very good.
Gosh.
Since I was a little kid, I've always loved ventriloquism and how it works. And did they have any idea where or it was invented or who invented it?
Throwing your voice? Who decided
Well,
that was a thing?
Just holding
actually,
up a doll.
it goes back to the Oracle of Delphi, believe it or not.
Okay.
People would go in ancient Greece and they would bring their troubles, and the oracle
Mhm.
was a priestess that would throw her voice and she would give you an answer. And so that was a dirty little trick she played on Oedipus Rex.
Dang oracles.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it also had supernatural influences. It was part of African culture where
Oh.
they had a ceremony where they spoke to the dead, and they believed the dead lived in the gut. And the first dead talkers were ventriloquists.
Oh.
And
Oh.
so it made its way to the United States on the slave ships, and it was actually outlawed because it was a pagan practice, and it was the colonies. But the irony is, a lot of the Cotton Mathers, Increase Mathers, the lawmakers, they were going to the Ivy League schools, translating Greek, learning about the Oracle of Delphi. So this was always going to be irony. It was always going to be comedy.
Well,
amazing.
we need comedy. Maybe we should get after that again because we definitely need comedy in this world, and no doubt about
One
that.
of our listeners just mentioned, Charlie said, I thought Don Knotts was a ventriloquist.
Yes, he was. Don Knotts was a ventriloquist. And I talk about Don Knotts in my book. I'm just going to hold it up real quick. 250 Years of American Ventriloquism, How Ventriloquism Influenced American Culture. And what would you like to say, Mr. Bookington? Well, I'm in the 900 section, which means I have a 1/900 number, and that's a Dewey Decimal joke. Okay. Things just talk when I'm around. But yes,
Okay.
he had a puppet by the name of Danny. but Don felt that he should get top billing, and he left Danny in the South Pacific during World War II.
Oh.
But Danny has no hard feelings because, well, you know, he never missed an episode of Andy Griffith. What can I say?
So Alex,
Yeah.
April had the foresight to name drop Sherry Lewis when she was pitching herself. Sherry Lewis being the you probably remember watching Lamb Chop when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
Lamb
Oh
Chop.
yeah. Lamb chop.
Lamb Chop. Yep.
Wasn't they? Weren't they on,
Yep.
They were on a PBS show, right?
Yeah.
I think was it PBS?
Yeah, it was PBS. And actually, the remarkable thing about ventriloquism is in the 250 years that America has existed and the semi-quincentennial we're going to be celebrating all year, ventriloquism has always been at the cornerstone of American entertainment, whether it was
Right.
medicine shows, vaudeville, radio, television, etc., but also every cultural movement, whether it was women's rights with Sherry Lewis being a girl boss on screen and off, civil rights with Willie Tyler and Lester on Laugh-In, LGBTQ rights with Waylon Flowers and Madam on Hollywood Squares. It's
Madam.
always been there.
Adam.
Geez, I forgot about so many of these things that you're bringing up. But as soon as you say them, it's like they're, you know, they really were. A
Yeah,
huge
they were.
influence. Yeah.
Huge. And with Ed Sullivan especially, ventriloquists became household names. They
Sure.
were in the living room. Toy production, suddenly you could go to the toy store, you could get a ventriloquist doll, and now you just
Mhm.
order it on Amazon. Bing, it's at your door.
Comes right to your door.
Does Toy Story have a dummy, a ventriloquist?
Technically, yes. It's got those two dummies in Toy Story 4.
Okay.
I don't think they were ever I mean, in order to be a ventriloquist, you have to be a human being. So
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
I just was wondering.
well,
well,
I
that would
have
be an homage. To.
well, I have some that would disagree. Would you like to meet one of mine?
Uh-oh.
Sure.
Well, I'd love to.
Like,
Oh.
hello, Tommy. Here's Tommy. Ah.
You're amazing. How do you
Thank
do
you.
that?
How
Well,
do you do that?
this is Mae Wilson. Mae, how do I do it? She's got a really good partner. That's how she does it. But enough about her, Tommy. Let's talk about me. What are you doing later?
All right. You want to go to dinner?
Of course, steak and lobster, Tommy, all the way.
All steak and lobster all the way. Would you like any wine, beer,
Lots
anything?
and lots of wine, because the more wine that I drink, Tommy, the better you look.
Oh, well, thank
And
you.
the better I look, too. And let's just put it this way, Tommy. The more wine you drink, the better idea I become. And I come with rope. May, you're not supposed to say that on the air.
You just slapped yourself in the face, basically.
Oh my goodness.
I just slapped myself in the face. Of course you did. But let's just put it this way. Now that we're talking about it, my people didn't build the rail lines, but we built the punch lines. What do you think of that, Tommy?
I think it's magnificent, and I'd like to know how on earth, maybe there's a woman named April in the room with you. How do you not move your lips when you do that? That's amazing that you can do that.
Well, it's lots and lots of practice.
Well, I
Lots
bet.
and lots and lots and lots of practice. And a fabulous sidekick like yours truly. You see, we brought the comedy duo. You have April over here that does absolutely nothing, and you have yours truly. And the book is a special semi-quincentennial edition. Semi-quincentennial, semi-quincentennial, semi-quincentennial. You said that 3 times, mate. It's a hard word
I
for a
can't say that.
ventriloquist to say.
That's amazing.
You go to bars together. I assume you go to a lot of bars together. Is that correct?
Yeah, we actually do. What happens? You know, guys use me to get to April. They do not, mate. You too. Do not. You too. Okay, tell them what happened. This is actually a true story. We were going through a metal detector in an airport. We're going to be on a show. And what happened, May? I set off the metal detector with my diamonds, Tommy, because I am gorgeous like that. And
Yes.
anyway, I took her out and they recognized Mae Wilson from My Strange Addiction. And they said, she's a very famous puppet. They actually did. So, guys use me to get to April. They say, can we hang out with Mae Wilson?
Well, could they?
Well, can they? Well, let's just put it this way. You have to make $500,000 a year minimum to hang out with me, okay?
Okay. Oh, you know, I'm glad the kids are coming in here. You got to come in here and see this. Where's your brother?
Hello,
He's
kid.
doing his own
They
thing.
won't be on camera.
No, they won't be on camera, but Fawn, look at this.
They have a ventriloquist on the show.
Look at, I mean,
Her name's April.
Hello. Hi.
They're both like, what?
can you do
guys
that?
like
Not so much.
Hello, children.
Sage, you believe that?
Have
want you to look-
have you ever seen that before? You ever seen a ventriloquist?
You've never
You
seen a
haven't? Wow.
ventriloquist
Well, there you go.
before?
You're their first ventriloquist.
Okay,
so.
let's
See,
turn it over
I'm
to
your
two
first
kids.
ventriloquist, and you're gonna
Yes.
remember me forever.
Are you going to remember her forever?
No.
Wow.
No.
Oh, say.
I want you to do something, both of the two of you kids in this room. When she starts talking again, I want you to look at the host. That you see the woman wearing the
April. Her
American
name's
flag.
April.
April is her name.
Mhm.
Look at her face and particularly her lips while her buddy is talking. Watch, both of you.
Okay,
Watch this.
all right. I'm April Brucker. This is Mae Wilson. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a great show where you get all the stars. You see, I'm doing all the talking. April just stands there. She's my roadie, okay?
Very
Is that
good,
amazing?
Very good.
She doesn't move her lips at all. How do you do it?
How do I do it? Well, it was a lot of practice. It was being very strange in junior high. And it was watching.
You really
and-
started this in junior high?
Yes, I did. I
Why?
watched it- okay, well, I grew up without cable because I'm a winner. And, my parents were teachers. I was watching an Edgar Bergen TV special with my parents because they finally got cable. My brother played high school football. My dad wanted the local sports channel. 40 channels means 40 more commercials and him complaining about the 40, you know. So he's changing the channel. And guess what? There is an Edgar Bergen tribute special. All
Oh,
my family members tried to talk like the ventriloquists. April was the only one that could do it. And that
Oh.
Christmas, I got a Groucho Marx puppet under the tree.
oh God, you still have it?
My mom has it. It is broken. It is well loved.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, let me read a couple things. April Brucker. Jaden says, great guest. What do you think of that?
Well, April's a great guest because I came along, Jaden. What do you say? Hey, welcome's a great guest. I can't bring her anywhere.
No, you can't. You're absolutely right about that. Do you, like, I have a question for both of you.
Mhm.
Have you ever been pulled over by the police and then both of you got out of the car and talked to the cop?
No, but
Why
Well,
did she
we
not
have-
yes when you said no?
well, we had something crazier happen. We had somebody proposition us for a
Uh-oh.
triple play after a comedy show.
Oh boy, I'm sure. Of course you did.
Yes, he offered to take us to the farmhouse up the road. was in
Okay.
Nebraska.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it clean. There are children around.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you.
Unbelievable.
Do you know who Darcy Lynn is?
Yes, I do. Very talented young lady. One of the great up and comers coming up, because the awesome thing is that what's old is new and what's new is old, and retro is in right now with Fallout,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
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 And so Darcy is one of the folks blazing the way, but some other female up and comers on TikTok and live stream are Megan Casey, Captain Jenny, Kristyn Burtt, a lot of great voices, because now
Amazing.
with the advent of the internet, you get a lot of, it's like a little variety show.
Sure.
Oh, speaking of the internet, you actually mentioned in your bio there, you're talking about how AI might affect the future of ventriloquism.
Oh,
and I mean,
really?
like, you know, it's so
yeah.
trivial right now. I could make an AI video of myself being the world's best ventriloquist. I'm drinking a glass of water while the dummy's talking and singing. And,
Right.
you know, most people wouldn't know it's not real.
Well, actually, ventriloquism led the way for AI. A fellow by the name of Stanley Burns, and he wrote a book called Ventriloquism from BC to TV, and he was an early mentor to Sherry Lewis. He actually made his puppets animatronic. He had a little control and they moved, and he was the first guy to do it. So it actually led the way for animatronics and other advances, especially in prosthetics. So you can thank ventriloquism for that and for Chucky. But
Right.
here's the thing about AI. We tell it what to do. We do not, it does not tell us what to do, because I don't know if you know this, but some lawyers were using it to write something, and AI cited cases that didn't exist,
Yep.
you know?
I remember that.
But here's the other thing. In a world that's very saturated, there's nothing like watching a person talk to a dummy. It's Textile American. See, I'm very real.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You definitely are. No question about it. Have you ever traced, or how far back have you traced? Where did ventriloquism even come from? Why did it start?
Well, it started in ancient Greece, and it started in Africa as a religious practice. And, you know, and it
Really?
also started in the Maoris did it. I'm going to be right back. I got to go meet my sugar daddy. Mwah. May Wilson, everyone. But it also, she does that. She freaking does that. But it also was making its way around Europe as comedy. There was a guy by the name of the Baron de Maison. He lived in Austria, and he used to carry this little doll around and make it talk. And everybody just thought that he was like an inbred Habsburg type, you know, how they were all doing crazy stuff. Like, and they really did. Like Philip II dressed up as a monk and just ran around and would hide from people. I mean, this is what you were dealing with. Like everybody thought, hey, he's just like a crazy rich guy. Like we got to put up with this. But he was actually a ventriloquist and used to do little parlor shows for people. And rich Americans, because America wasn't a country yet in the early 1700s, they would go over to Europe and they would see stuff like this. They saw Nicholas Vladimir, because the other thing that happened was, I don't know if you know this, but being buried alive used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, right.
With the bells in the cemeteries. Like now they make sure you're good and dead. That's what my mom told me when I was a kid, and I used to be afraid of it. Gotta love moms. So anyway, long story short, he did a routine where he called the dead from the ground, and wealthy Americans would go over and they'd say, hey, I saw this. And you had people traveling up the 13 original colonies throwing their voices. But our first big superstar in the United States was a fellow by the name of Richard Potter. And this is what most people don't realize. He was performing in the 18 teens and 1820s, and he had learned ventriloquism in Europe. He was black. And he toured the North, where slavery was illegal, but the South, where they still had slavery. He was touring the South as a headlining act.
Really?
Yes. He was packing them in, but he was the first big American headliner. He was a ventriloquist. He was a comedian. He was a magician. Well, anyway, he's buried in Andover, New Hampshire, and Richard Potter was the inspiration for Samuel Peyton of Peyton Place, a soap opera. For the kids in the room that don't know it, it's a crazy soap opera.
Right.
That's amazing.
What a story.
Yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
So when did your book come out?
My book came out middle of June, right in time for the semi-quincentennial, and it was actually a lot of fun to write.
Where do you start in the book? Do you start when you were a child, or where do you start with it?
I start at the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I don't think she was a child at 1776. I don't want to assume anything.
Yeah.
Well, 1776. Yeah, I started 1776. Actually, before that, I start in colonial times in 1776. Then we work our way up. But believe it or not, and not many people know this, but how many of you have seen a talking exhibit?
I don't think I have.
What do you
Like
mean?
a talking statue, talking
Oh,
statue.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disney World,
Well,
like the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Yep.
Yep. Well, P.T. Barnum was a huge fan of Richard Potter. And he used to employ ventriloquists because these were just traveling entertainers then. A lot of them weren't known. They had little talking tubes, and they would make these statues talk, and you had to pay extra to get an appointment with the statues.
Huh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go way back.
Ventriloquism's always been there. And that's what I say. You know, it's always been there. And that's why this book was so amazing, because I am a very small part of a much bigger story. And I'm very lucky to be a footnote in that story, if that, you know?
When you were doing your research, what surprised you the most, or what didn't you know that was surprising?
Oh, wow. There was so much I didn't know, but I didn't know how deeply it ran and how ventriloquism had always been there. I didn't know that ventriloquism had been in the medicine shows in the Wild West, for instance.
Oh.
And one of the fun things was ventriloquists traveled with Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Brothers, all that stuff. And Max Tarhoon, who was known as Alibi, did films. These were B Westerns. And for those of you watching that don't know, B picture opened for the A picture back when they had double features. Well, anyway, Max Alibi Tarhoon started on vaudeville, and he came to Hollywood after meeting Gene Autry, and they just wanted him to be a character actor in the Westerns, and he didn't want to abandon his act, and he did his research, and he said, listen, they had ventriloquists in the Wild West. They were in the medicine shows.
Oh,
So,
sure.
mhm.
God, it's so wonderful. Oh, how old were you when you said, this is what I want to do? Do you remember?
Oh gosh. I was 13. It gave my parents a heart attack, but eventually they came around.
So 13. And what was your dream? Did you have any idea what you were going to do? You're going to do all the characters and all that. Did you start out knowing kind of what you wanted to do?
Well, I just knew I wanted to do it, and I wanted to go as far as it was going to take me. I
Mhm.
wanted to go to New York City. I thought my dad was going to have a heart attack. It's gotten better. He hasn't had a stroke yet. He's only threatened. But anyway, I
Okay.
wanted to go as far as it was going to take me. And so I went to NYU Tisch. I thought, okay, I've arrived. Then I met my fiance. He said it's near the puppets. I chose him for a while. Big mistake. I missed the puppets. And after a few months, I saw him under the bed collecting dust. And I ended my engagement. And I decided I was going to try to be the greatest ventriloquist that I could be. And I performed anywhere that they would let me. And somebody took my picture performing. And a year later, I got a call from TLC. And they said, do you want to be on My Strange Addiction? I said, sure. And now
Oh,
it's streaming everywhere,
Yes.
all over
Yeah.
the world. I get fan mail from prisoners. That's my demographic, apparently.
prisoners.
So how did you end up on My Strange Addiction by just doing ventriloquism?
Okay. Well,
Okay. Okay.
this is okay. So I end things with my fiance, and I think I'm going to be alone forever. And I have plenty of ugly cries.
Sure.
You know, if you're a girl, you know the feeling. And so I was street performing, and this guy comes up to me and takes my picture. And he says, can I take your photo? I said, sure. And he was handsome, let me tell
Oh.
you, handsome.
Okay.
So I said to him, you know, my former fiance didn't always understand my puppets. And he said, my girlfriend doesn't always understand my camera. I heard girlfriend, I was shut down. I just thought, you know, it's over. The man of my dreams is taken. So a year later, I get a phone call from a casting office. Hey, is it true that you left your fiance for your puppets? I said, how did you hear that story? Our casting assistant, the guy that you just met, he took your picture last year and was telling us about you. So the
Wow.
next thing I know, I'm on TLC.
Huh.
A year
Well, that's
later.
wonderful. I got to
chance
take a break.
encounter.
Can you stay with us for another 10 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. That's great news. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes more with April Brucker. North American Banking Company is locally owned and operated by people that live and work in the Twin Cities. That means faster loan decisions for businesses that are looking to grow. Go to nabanco.com/Tom to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Being bitten by a dog, being in a car accident, wrongful death suits. These are just some of the unfortunate things you may experience that require legal assistance. Let Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers, help make the unpleasant a little more pleasant by representing you. Just visit minnesotapersonalinjury.com or call 320-259-5414 to reach out and start putting the past behind you. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. April Brucker, our very special guest. I love talking to you about this because you have a totally, I've met a couple. Well, I used to work at Capitol Records back in the day.
Nice.
And we had a couple of I guess they were in your business, I guess. And I know one of them was very friendly and laughing and joking and all the rest of it. And he would come in and do hand puppet things just to, in my face, of course. But the other guy was very serious about it. And I don't want to mention either name, but the other guy was very serious about it and did not like it if you in some way got in his way. I will never forget that.
Did his name rhyme with Flunham?
Maybe.
Well, people are people, and there are comedians that had different personalities, and
Yes.
yes, and and I'm sure you don't love every disc jockey you ever worked with.
No.
And so different people.
How did you know that, by the way?
Because that's just humans.
Yeah, humans. And I say that if you meet everybody, if you like everybody you meet, you have not met enough people.
Yeah.
You're not meeting enough people, but I always say that, there are people that you guys that reacted very well to Mae Wilson, for instance. I had somebody, and popophobia is real. It's a fear of puppets, for those of you that don't know. And Hollywood has leaned very deeply into this. I had a young woman who was, she was a host of a radio show in Australia, a very well-known one, a very famous one. Nice lady. Mae Wilson started talking. I thought she had a panic attack.
Oh.
Huh.
Really?
And and she's been in the studio with Ozzy Osbourne, who's bitten birds, like the heads off of birds.
Bats' heads,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Bats' heads.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but she was scared of Mae. You met. Mae was great. I mean, but some of my puppets are scarier than others. Hello, it's Donald J. Trump. This show is huge, just like my hands.
is that Mr. President?
Yes, Donald J. Trump, Mr. President. And you must be the host of this show.
But I'm not a tramp like you are.
No, you're not a tramp, but I just want to say that I am master of everything. I have billions and billions of dollars, and I was host of my own reality television show, and I was president of my own university. Trump University, you got sued for fraud. Shut up, girl. We had a AAA rating. Wait, the Better Business Bureau gave you a AAA rating? Wrong. A triple K rating. KKK.
Oh, whoops.
Oh dear.
So President Trump, that joke was a little. So President Trump, what do you say when people call you a racist? I say fake news. With these legs, I can't run. Your popularity rating is lower than any sitting president in the history of this country, like modern history. What do you say to that? Fake news. It's alive and well, just like Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham.
Very fresh material, that's for sure.
That is very fresh material.
Very
Absolutely.
fresh. So President Trump, what do you have to say? Well, what can I say? I'll be on the same show as Ted Danson from the 90s.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good, but you made a very good point there. That is very, very
Yes,
important.
that's very important. But any parting words, President Trump? Yes. Vote for me in 2028. I'll be king of the world. You can't be king of the world. That's Leonardo DiCaprio's line. Fake news, fake news. And ladies, I'm looking for my fourth wife. You already have a wife. You already have a wife. Well, what can I say? I always need the newest, hottest, youngest foreign import.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
Yes.
Mr.
And you know what the cause of divorce is? Money. Wrong. Marriage, folks. You can't make this stuff up. President.
Yeah.
How many characters do you have? I mean, do you call them dummies? It feels a little offensive these days.
I call them my children. I have 38 children, but as I talk about in my book, 250 Years of American Ventriloquism, how ventriloquism influenced American culture. People call their puppets dummies, whatever. They have all sorts of names for them. I call them my kids. I know that that's weird, but I feel like they're my children.
Yeah.
No,
They talk back like human children.
I got to ask you a question. How many times does President Trump appear on stage with you in front of a live audience?
Oh gosh, many, many times, too many to count. And he has been punched. He's been kicked.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been threatened. And we actually went to the RNC, believe it or not. and we went to Milwaukee 2024. Jon
God.
Stewart, Bill Maher was going to be there, and there was about the assassination attempt. Well,
Yeah.
that was my hometown. That was the
Oh.
arena was an hour away from where I lived, and the assassin was from my hometown of Bethel Park.
Oh,
God.
Yeah, putting us on the map. Got it.
yeah.
Anyway. So everybody pulls out of the whole thing, like all these comedians, whatever. And you better not make a bad joke, Mr. Tramp. There are children in the room. Anyway, so what ends up happening is I'm the last comedian standing. And we had been like, should we go? Should we not go? So we had actually hired a bodyguard for Donald J. Trump. He had a bodyguard. So when people
Good
say to my
move.
mother, how famous is April? April doesn't have a bodyguard, but her puppets do.
Well, that's a good point, actually.
People are weird, aren't they?
I gotta believe it gets very, very tense just to represent a president like that. And, you're one letter off the name, so they might catch that part, but they don't apparently. They get very upset.
Oh, people do. And the reason he's one letter off the name is Trump had trademarked his name.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right.
And
Yep.
I was on Newsmax where the host liked me, but the producer did not. And I got a lecture the next time that I came that I had to be careful because last time I wasn't favorable. I got my finger wagged at me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Tom, you've been on the air. You know what it's like to get your finger wagged. It's worse than getting yelled at.
Why were they upset?
Well, they were supposed to be representing all political opinions, and they didn't want to be snowflakes. But apparently, they were bigger snowflakes than anybody. They melted at just a few jokes. They felt that it was offensive to His Highness.
It's a joke. My God, how can you be offended by a joke?
Well, and I make fun of everybody. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm equal opportunity. I make fun of everyone. As a matter of fact, I even have the retired president here. I'm going to keep it fair.
Uh-oh.
Sir? Hello. What are you doing in my living room? President Biden time. What are you doing? Well, I'm working as a greeter. Actually, I'm working as an ambassador. An ambassador where? A Walmart ambassador. You're working at Walmart. Yes. Where's your receipt? Why are you working at Walmart? It gets me out of the house and it gets me away from Jill. The food she feeds me is good. What are you doing? Ew.
Sniff.
Well, it's gone. What can I say? The eyesight's gone. I'm using the nose, just like my dog Major. So is there anything you want to say to everybody? Yes. Number one, April's book, 250 Years of American Ventriloquism, is now available wherever books are sold. Number two, it's available on Amazon and through other venues. Number four, Mr. President? Yes, number four. Who are you again and where's your receipt?
Skipped over it on you.
And what are you doing in my living room? I just want to get this job at Walmart so Hunter can work here.
Oh, Joe, go take a nap.
But yeah, the beauty of ventriloquism is I can just tell you why it survived. I went the long way. I can say things nobody else can say through my puppets.
All right.
There's the book.
Oh God, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. He said all sorts of things you would never say.
Yeah.
Celebrities would get so mad if just a random person said that.
Eminem punched him, and I actually write about the.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yep, I actually write about the guy that was the big inspiration for Triumph. His name was Ricky Lane, and his partner's name was Velvel. And Velvel is actually Hebrew for William.
Oh.
And he was actually William Gladstone because Velvel slept in a William Gladstone sleeping bag. Anyway, long story short, Nat King Cole saw Ricky Lane and Velvel, loved them, said to Ed Sullivan, you got to get these guys on the show. Ed Sullivan was like, I've never seen them. I don't know them. He said, listen, if they're not good, I won't take any money. I will do my next appearance for free. Okay. And this is Nat King Cole. Ricky Lane and Velvel come. 1956, Red Scare, America is anti-Semitic is all get-go, okay? They come in, Vel is very Yiddish, they kill it, okay? Ed Sullivan has never laughed harder in his life. You know, Ricky Lane, Jackie Mason, they're both up there, okay?
Right.
Except Ricky Lane and Vel didn't screw it up, Jackie Mason did. So anyway, a little showbiz history. You don't ever give a middle finger on live television, especially in the 50s. Anyway,
Yeah.
long story short, they had Ricky Lane on with Vel 48 times.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's wonderful.
Oh, it was great.
I have a question for you. I love the fact that you take both sides in this and then entertain with both sides. Is that unusual?
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, it didn't sneeze.
You sneeze.
I know the
Anyway,
feeling.
It isn't. Jeff Dunham takes both sides. South Park takes both sides.
Yeah.
I take both sides, but there are some ventriloquists that do not take both sides that are very pro-Trump and that you know are very offended by some of this. But I say, you know what? If you're offended by something, you always have the ability to change the channel. You always have the ability not to watch.
Well, I just love the fact that you go out, and it's not like you're attacking anyone. You're just having fun, having a good time. So I'm glad. I'd like to see a lot more of that where people go, you know what? If you're way far left or way far right, that's your business. But can the rest of us, just the left and the right, kind of meet in the middle and have a little fun with it? I mean, I am really, really sick and tired of these mean politics. God.
Yeah, mean on both sides. And I don't think mean is getting us anywhere. Like, that's the thing.
No.
Mean is not getting us anywhere.
No.
And the internet is not getting us anywhere. And I had an old mentor tell me that the louder you scream, the less people hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love that.
I'm trying to teach that to my 4-year-old right now.
Good luck. Good luck. I have 2 nieces, 4 and 7, and the 4-year-old, she's not getting that one. So good luck, man. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Yeah, like he's got a 1-year-old brother and he's trying to play with him. And he thinks that the reason that the 1-year-old isn't understanding what he wants him to do is because he's not hearing him.
Oh.
So he'll just say it again louder and louder and louder. And we're like, no, he's 1 year old. He doesn't know what you're saying. But he doesn't get that.
No, they don't. Like when my 4-year-old niece was born, the older one, because the baby would scream, she'd go, "Too much noise," and she'd cover her ears and start screaming like that was gonna help. You know,
She's right. It is too much noise.
It is.
Too much noise.
Too much noise. It's like, trust
April,
me.
do you go on tours? You go on the road?
Yes, I do. And as a matter of fact, this fall I have a program a lecture to go with my book called Hidden Voices: 250 Years of American Ventriloquism History. And I'm taking my program to libraries, performing arts schools, and museums. And I will also be doing private events, comedy clubs, theaters, and anywhere that they'll have me, trying to make people laugh.
Good for you.
Will you be coming anywhere near us in Minneapolis, St. Paul?
Maybe keep your fingers crossed.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I think we need more people that see the world the way you do. Like, let's have fun with both sides.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy ourselves. We need to get back to that. I am so sick of this. I'm here and I'm here. It's like, yeah, whatever. Have a little fun. Let's have some laughs.
Or let's cancel this person. Let's cancel that person. Let's
You're
cancel
right.
everyone. Yeah. It's like by the time you're done, there's nothing left. It's like, come on, you know?
You're absolutely right. Well, you got to come back. And then when you're in town, you got to have you over, have a little dinner.
Thank you. I'd love that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, April Brucker, ladies and gentlemen. And the book is available everywhere because I've seen several people have ordered it on Amazon while you were on today.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I love you all.
We'll talk to you soon, April. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God, what a sweetheart of a person.
That's
You're
great.
a very, very nice person. Didn't you think?
Yes.
I thought so.
I thought so. This segment brought to you by Mike Bilski and North American Banking Company. Visit nabanco.com/Tom today. Andy, just let me know when our next guest is ready to go.
He appears to be ready.
There he is.
Oh, there he is right there. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Stevens. Tony's Assistant Vice President of Communications at the American Foundation for the Blind, a Helen Keller expert, and a producer and featured voice in Possibilities, an episode from last month. your conversation about TV still pulling in tens of millions of dollars, and the way older media formats keep hanging on felt like a natural fit for Tony's perspective on how accessibility needs to be built into the media people actually use. Tony, how you been?
I'm fantastic, thank you. Hopefully you all are doing well also.
Everybody's doing great. As a matter of fact, we're just having a good time on the show today. Well, first of all, we have 3 generations of the family in this area. The 2 littlest kids don't appear on the show, which I could understand. But yeah, Catherine and I are been married for 42 years, and Andy, our son, Alex, our daughter. 3 generations. They both have children that come over. I absolutely love it. So, what's the latest with you, Tony?
No, yeah. And, thanks so much for having me on. We, I work at the American Foundation for the Blind. We've been around for a little over 100 years at AFB, and probably our most famous employee was Helen Keller for a little over 40 years.
Yeah.
At AFB. So we had a documentary come out on her 146th birthday at Carnegie Hall and go launch streaming around the globe a couple weeks ago, and it was a fantastic event, but we're really promoting it. It's the first full-length film with open audio description, kind of a creative way we approached making accessible media. Sure. And having a chance to get out there and plug the work and the voices that are featured in it, sort of talking about Helen's impact.
I understand that. Now, Tony, how did you get involved in this operation?
Well, I mean, at the American Foundation for the Blind, we're reaching our 100th anniversary, and we wanted to try to focus in on Helen's legacy and really focusing in on sort of how she's perceived today by people that are blind or low vision. And as documentaries go, we get in there, we get 90 hours of footage for 199-minute or 139-minute doc. You start getting a lot of other threads and stories about the experiences people who are blind, deafblind, have low vision, which is, a significant number of Americans, even with glasses, can't read the New York Times, from that all the way to just close your eyes blindness kind of thing, like yourself. And, working on it as it was progressing, and I was brought in once, a lot of the photography was already being done and interviews already being done to kind of sew things up at the end. And really work to sort of help get this thing finalized and hit the festival circuit and then get it onto streaming and platforms. I'm also a voice in it. A couple of times I kind of thread the needle in certain areas that Helen had. A lot of people probably read about Helen as this disability rights person, but know of her more about the miracle worker, Anne Sullivan, her teacher. And that film that was in the 1960s that, was an Academy Award winning film. Kind of stops when she's really young, right? She learns to communicate thanks to Anne's sort of breakthrough with her at this moment at the well that's kind of, monumentalized in her sort of, legend, I guess, if you will. But, we really were wanting to try to focus in on her impact, not just to the blindness community across the United States and across the globe, but to the broader community. I mean, she was under General MacArthur, a Goodwill ambassador after World War II. She was a founding member of the ACLU back in the 19-teens. She was a woman suffragist, a disability rights advocate, not just for the deaf-blind community, but for all people with disabilities at a time when there weren't a lot of voices out there sort of advocating for inclusion in society for people that have, varying needs and abilities. So, my job mainly was coming on and helping us get it across the finish line and get it into, festivals around the world and stuff like that.
That's wonderful.
I have 2 questions. My first is an unrelated question. Why is our chat full of Jay talking about cheese?
I don't know.
I can't read the chat. I'm intrigued all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's talking.
It says almost any cheese is good. Blue cheese. They rebuilt the Hy-Vee where I lived, the cheese counter.
No,
half a mile from my house. He's really thinking about cheese right
our
now.
listeners do like food.
Somebody said you're ancient to somebody else on the chat, and then somebody said like a good cheese.
Oh,
and
like
now,
aged
okay,
like
now
a fine
it's all
cheese.
No,
cheese.
Now we're on
cheese.
cheese.
Talking about cheese. And I
Okay.
agree with you, Jay. I mean,
Yeah.
blue cheese.
Yeah.
That is good.
So you were born legally blind. So blind can mean many different things.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you?
Well, for most people, there's still some sort of residual sight, right? Excuse me. So, I never could read the board. I'd have to sit up right up front, and maybe get up and walk up to it to read it and stuff like that as a kid. And, I knew I'd never be driving a car or anything like that. So you learn how to just try to be as independent as you can.
Right.
But then when I was 15, I went totally blind. and due to glaucoma and some other birth defect conditions. But it covers a gamut. A lot of people lose that are born with some sort of congenital condition. Oftentimes will have some sight, and then it progresses later in life and gets worse and worse and things like that.
Yeah. Yep. What's interesting about that? I haven't thought about this in, I would guess it would be about 65 years or 67 years, something like that. When I was a little boy, 7 years old, I was out playing with my friend, and these new neighbors had moved in, and the husband brought his mother to live with them, and they had grandkids and all that. So I was talking to the grandkids outside, and I said, why do they have to, does your grandmother have some walking problems? Why do they have to lead her into the house the way they do? And I had never heard of, a blindness that would totally wipe out your vision completely. It was only like 6 or 7, something like that.
It's relatively rare.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I was talking to him all day about what really struck me about this, and you would be a good example of how that goes because you've been in both, areas. I said, so she'll never see like this beautiful tree. She will never see that tree. She's never seen a tree. She doesn't see the blue sky. She doesn't see the water. That struck me really hard when I was a little boy, that how is it to go through life never being able to see anything? That's quite a burden, don't you think?
One of the things I think that we often ignore when someone does go blind is the mental health aspect. And it can be very jarring for someone to have a disability onset later in life, particularly. When you're a child, it's easier, like learning language. You learn how to walk, right? It's tough at first, and things seem impossible, and you can do it. But hands down, it's a challenge that we deal with for a lot of people. But that being said, it's not like a death sentence, right?
No, right.
It's something that you'll say like can't see the blue sky. But I was at Toronto Island on vacation this past weekend up in Toronto, and the smell of the flowers was just fantastic.
Wonderful.
The sensory, and they always say like, oh, blind people have these superhuman powers, and it's we all have them. We get distracted with our eyes. And oftentimes tune out a lot of the other stuff that the other senses can be just as engaging and exciting to sort of employ.
Yeah, my father went blind in his 90s. He had macular degeneration and glaucoma. Yeah. And he started what was really the toughest thing for him, because his eyesight had been crappy for a long time, but it was his brain started trying to fill in what his eyes couldn't see. Right. So he was actually hallucinating. A lot of times he thought he was on the front line in World War II.
No, that's a fun thing to hallucinate.
Yeah.
He seriously, we would be sitting there watching, what did he love? He liked to watch
Wheel.
Wheel.
It was Wheel, yeah.
Wheel of Fortune. And he'd be getting all agitated. And I said, what's going on, Dad? And he'd say, I just wish they'd shoot already. I can see those sons of bitches right there. And I was like, okay, you do know you're
Pat Sajak.
I'm like, you do know you're in your apartment.
Yeah, I know.
And he says, I know, but I can see them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, and there was nothing we could do. At that point, he was,
To be clear, he couldn't actually see them. He just thought he
No,
could.
he was hallucinating because his vision deteriorated so quickly because his eye doctor in Arizona gave him cortisone drops that and to my understanding, you're only supposed to use those for a few days, and he was on them for years.
Yeah.
And
it basically just fried his retina like that.
Yeah, so. I remember one time he was laying in bed, and he wouldn't get out of bed. And I went in there and I was like, so what's going on, Grandpa? And he was like, can you turn off the TV on the ceiling?
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no TV on the ceiling. And he goes, oh, there isn't. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, the brain tries to figure out what, he could see, shadows and things, but he couldn't see well. And his vision went fast. So I'm sure it's very hard for your brain to keep up with trying to decipher the world around you when you just suddenly lose your vision in a matter of months.
Yeah. What is it, like roughly a third of our nerves is attached to the optic nerve? It's an extremely hot, complex, the eyes in a sense of how they're connected to the brain. It's a lot of wiring.
Sure.
Which is why the sort of fictitious, like it's so easy to do an eye transplant, which isn't, a reality in the sense, because there's so much there's a lot of breakthroughs in ways to, implant chips and things like that. But yeah, it's a lot of neurons being fired.
So you were born sighted. Your vision wasn't great, but it was there. And it went away. Do you dream in pictures?
Yeah. I mean, it's in dreams and stuff like that. It's funny. They often do a thing, I don't partake into that much, but people will like self-describe themselves to me. And I try to tell them, like, look, it's not a big deal. I don't really care. Like in my mind, I'm still 15, which is fantastic, right? To think that, so, in that sense. But yeah, it's hard for me to imagine myself much more gray and matured and lack of being chiseled as I was when I was 15. But
yeah, that's something that you like. A lot of people probably don't think of, is like, you don't know what you look like.
Yeah, that's true.
Do I care?
Like,
I don't know. I mean, I try to be self-conscious, and I'm not, showing up here in a robe or anything, just being a slob. But,
I was actually thinking about that the other week for no particular reason. I was thinking about how for the vast majority of human history, I bet 99% of people never knew what they looked like, because only the rich had access to mirrors.
Yeah.
And like you can see yourself in water, but it's a very poor reflection. You're not going to get any details. So not knowing what you look like is the human norm for our species.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Things change.
Selfies.
Yeah, that's true.
Tony, how old were you when you lost vision?
So I was 15 when it was from a acute glaucoma, but it was a retinal detachment right after birth when I was real little. Let me never see good, but like I could still do stuff. I could ride a bike and stuff like that, but just be slow and not going to busy streets and things.
Well, if it's described well, can you picture in your mind how it does look, since you did?
Oh yeah. I'm still a big daydreamer, and you hang on. Some things get tough over time, like trying to remember the face of a parent or something like that. It's things seem more like dreams, but yeah, you get used to it.
One of the great things with the world it is today, and everybody at each other's throats, they're probably be happy you don't see some of the things that are going on. I mean, it just, whew. Do you, I mean, is there a situation where do you stay in touch? How often do you have to go see a doctor, as a matter of fact, or don't you have to do it any more than anybody else?
No, we still encourage, even for myself. I'm bad about it. I got to get back in. It takes forever to get into a specialist that knows when they look at eyes what the heck they're seeing. But even if folks don't see, we're always encouraging them, because you never know what's going on with like tumors in the eyes, or you can detect a lot of things by looking in your eyes, like hypertension, diabetes, stuff like that. So even when folks lose their sight, we still try to say, look, it's important to get in and get an eye exam at least once a year if you can.
Do you, because you've lost some sight and, at this point, do you still picture in your mind how things might look now, using the memories of when you could see things, not, always clearly, but do you look back upon things and go, I wonder how that's all going?
Yeah, I mean, I assume we're not all dressed like Back to the Future 2,
Well, I am, but
just his special thing.
The nice thing is that grunge comes back in style every now and then. So,
I know, I saw a couple the other day.
Yeah, so.
I find it very interesting that you are a sailor.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage that?
Water is therapy. It really is. No, sailing is obviously, I'm not going to skipper a boat and go head. I live on Baltimore Harbor, just off the harbor. I lived on the harbor, literally on a boat for a year. But, I'm not going to just turn into the wind and go, pardon the pun, blindly right into it. But it is very much a other senses type thing, right? So it's feeling the wind, feeling direction, a lot of listening. We're working at, I had run a sailing center here in Baltimore Harbor for a year, and then working with them some still now. We're trying to think of like ways that you can use like your smartphone technology where you can drop pins, like wayfinding on the water for buoys and stuff to help navigate using technology.
Right.
But there's like sailing clubs that'll have buoys that make noises for regattas and stuff like that. There's different clubs around the country that do that kind of stuff. But for me, it's just getting out there, and it's, when you don't have a road, when you just have open water like Chesapeake Bay, it's very liberating just to, when you feel like you're constrained on land with a cane or my guide dog, and you're always, navigating around stuff and obstacles always in the way. when it's just, someone sitting next to you going, yep, it's wide open. Just let the sails out and, go, head into the wind or off, not into the wind, but off to the wind a little, and you just launch off. It's pretty empowering.
One thing that I was thinking, if I was going to lose my vision, I would hope as I went further into it and did lose my vision, I would remember the good things and the beautiful women, and, you carry those dreams with you, right? You carry those visions with you, I would imagine, since you had, how many years did you have sight?
I mean, it was like 15,
Or 15,
so
yeah.
it was, it was, it is still, I don't know if, a lot of us, middle-aged dads get very retro, but it is nice to still know what the Fleetwood Mac Rumors album looks like,
That's very true.
So, there are certain things that are iconic that stand out in your head, or the Abbey Road Beatles,
Yep.
certain things like that are icons that you remember, and plays perception. And, it's the kind of thing where you just don't really think about it that much. I mean, and Helen probably would have said this as well, as someone that was deafblind, like, you don't think about it unless people really bring it up to your attention. You just, as humans do, you adapt and you forge forward with it. So
Helen wasn't born blind either, was she?
She was not, but it happened really young, like just after infancy.
So she doesn't remember a time.
No, there was no.
I knew it happened young.
Sense memory, yeah.
Right, because she had like some sort of infection, right, or meningitis or something like that.
I was gonna say, I'm a second grade teaching aide, and every year the second graders have to read a biography about somebody, and Helen Keller is always one of the kids' choices, and it takes them a while to actually understand how like different Helen Keller's life was from theirs. They're like, wait, she couldn't do anything? And it's like, no, she did tons of stuff. She did stuff people with sight and everything never do.
We get people today on like Reddit and stuff saying that there's even today like conspiracy type attitudes that are like, this was impossible. There's no way she could have done this.
Oh God.
And our response is like, you'd be surprised what we all can do, right? Humans adapt when we're faced with a challenge, and we learn to navigate through it. And she just happened to be the first at a time when, there wasn't a lot of opportunities. There wasn't a lot of doors that had opened yet. And she was the one that really opened them up for a lot of people after her. So,
when also being a woman in that era
definitely.
too. Like,
and I mean, think like, she was born on a farm in northern Alabama, horse and carriage days, post sort of Civil War Reconstruction, all that movement. And then she died a year before. I was thinking this with the Artemis too, like a year before the moon landing, like when we were just starting to orbit around the moon, like the span that her life witnessed, and through the sense of touch, and kinesthetics and everything, is pretty incredible to think the way she perceived the world, but how much the world changed over those 87 years.
Yeah, no question about that. I just like that, you can pay attention to things that people take for granted. Since you've lost sight, you probably don't take very much for granted, I wouldn't think.
Like I say about like flowers or the scents, juniper and stuff like that. You stop and you realize it more, and you embrace it more. And, so it makes you appreciate things more. That and like one of the lines in the film is, people with disabilities, and particularly in our community, like we're playing the game of life on hard, like amped up the challenge. So there's a little sense of pride, I think, in that independence that we have.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then you have, like I said, I was in the record business for a number of years at Capitol Records, and I'd go on tour with a lot of these people. A lot of fully blind artists like Stevie Wonder, people like that. It's amazing how they have, and I'll use the word focus, and I mean attention, but in the brain more than anything there, how they got so good at what they did, even though they had lost their vision. I was always really impressed by that.
I mean, there's that question of, is the genius already there?
Right.
Yeah.
And the need unlocks it, or the same like with Helen, like, would she have been the same today with an iPhone and a Braille display or things like that? Was that nature versus nurture? I guess sometimes we say,
Right.
is he naturally a genius, which there are others as well, You know, I mean, Paul McCartney can see just well, but is quite the genius as well when it comes to music. But I mean, you know, from what I've heard about Stevie, like, you know, pointing out that, oh, that third note in the chord is flat or something like that. You know,
Right.
that kind of level of,
Yep.
you know, but yeah.
Well, he wrote a song. I believe it was Stevie Wonder wrote the song, Isn't She Lovely?
Yeah.
I love the fact that he called the song. It's a great song anyway. There's no question. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious?
Yeah, the best thing about that song though is the start of it, where you hear the kid, you know, just that like the
that's
joy and the
right.
sound that the audience doesn't see that, but you get the loveliness just in the sound that starts that song.
Yeah,
off.
no question.
Sure.
Sort of the Foley work in the background. Yeah.
That's really
Well, I Googled Helen Keller because I was like, when did she become blind? And one of the first things that come up is a picture of you.
Really?
Oh, there you go.
I'm not Helen at all.
I scrolled down and I was like,
That's not Helen Keller.
I'm humbled to be under my umbrella of the Helen Keller archive, so maybe that's how it popped up. But
I know. I was like, wait, there he is.
There's Tony.
No.
I think that's fabulous.
So how did this film come about?
A lot of great crowdsourced donors, a lot of sort of wanting Helen's legacy to live on because she died in 1968. And, you know, she's interned at the National Cathedral. She is, you know, we're all talking about independence this summer. She's one of the great icons for independence, I think, in American history.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, especially for people with disabilities. But we wanted it really to, you know, we wanted a chance to try to elevate that. So, you know, we're very fortunate with some donors that really helped step up the plate, like most documentaries are made nowadays. And then, you know, and it took about 5 years to get to where we are today. But these things are never, you know, quick kind of thing. So.
Well, somebody's asking, who is Stevie Wonder? And the response is, if you've heard Superstition, for one example, that's him.
Oh, him on drums. Somebody said he's amazing on drums.
He's an amazing
He
drummer,
drums on that song. Yeah, he did. All
He does, yes.
Yeah.
Another thing that came up when I just Googled I just literally Googled Helen Keller. And one thing is, how did Helen Keller learn if she was deaf and blind?
What?
What?
She learned?
Yeah, maybe not being
We
able
get
to
that.
see or hear. I don't know. What?
Likely.
What a weird question.
I think people just, I mean, we think we can't do it ourselves, right? If I were to go deafblind tomorrow, I hear this a lot from people, you know, I can't. And we get it. People, you know, there'll be people that'll be stuck on their couch for a year after losing their sight because they're just afraid.
Yeah.
And, you know, we did a study like 20 years ago at AFB where people feared blindness worse than like cancer. So it's, you know, I can get where people are with that, but I mean, come on, folks, it's 2026. So, you know.
Right.
Yeah, there's never been a better time to be disabled. That's for sure.
True.
Yeah.
How do most blind people navigate the world now? Like seeing eye dogs, you
Yeah,
see
I mean,
around,
rare.
but the cane seems more.
I think
like,
the cane is still the dominant thing.
Yeah.
When we get into
Yeah.
this on the film, we sort of talk about the difference between the dogs and canes for people and their mobility. But, you know, I mean, there's orientation and mobility, O&M instructors are called. And, you know, people are always really advised to get that training because you got to listen. You just don't take a cane and jump out into the world.
Mhm.
You know, it's a lot of nerve to cross the West Side Expressway on New York City.
Yeah.
First time using your
Yeah.
cane and stepping out into, you know, so, but yeah, I mean, there's training and things like that. The guide dogs I'm on my 4th dog now, a German Shepherd. And those are completely empowering, but there's even talk now about like, will the dogs be replaced with robots? You know, Elon Musk is coming out with his robots that I know someone that's blind that's buying one later this year and looking to try to innovate it in ways that it could be a guide for people that are blind. And, you know, there's like sort of robotic guide dogs. A lot of the stuff with smartphones now is incredible with like, you know, what you use for like finding directions to get to the, you know, if you're traveling out of town or something, there's all these audio tips and cues and things that Apple and Android have done that we've been able to work with and other disability rights groups to really make those apps accessible. So that, you know, I can have an earpiece in my ear and have AI telling me where to go and telling me what's in front, and I can get to the restaurant and read the menu to me and all this stuff. So it's incredible now with what technology is doing to help us get around.
And I'm guessing people are helpful as well.
I'm hoping.
Just plain old
They
people.
are. You still get the
Yeah.
person that grabbed your elbow and you didn't want to cross the street, but they thought you did.
Oh, Oh,
That
they don't
happens every now
ask.
and
Come
then.
this way.
They don't ask
That's
first.
a little
They mean
uncomfortable.
well. They mean
Yeah.
well.
They mean well. It's true.
Yeah, but you know,
Tony, I have to take a
Yeah.
quick break. Can you stay for one more segment?
love to. Yeah.
We'd love to have you. Heart of the North Tours has another amazing one you don't want to miss. The Canadian Rockies Tour, September 16th through the 24th, with sweeping vistas, serene valleys, and postcard perfect scenery. Travel in comfort and discover the beauty of places like Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper, and more. For more information, go to heartofthenorthtours.com or call 833-424-2700 to speak to Mike, who is a pro at arranging these amazing tours. It is time for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is the place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire Medina's now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they are a family-owned local company conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They're the best staffed memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com.
So you mentioned AI and that sort of thing, like, you know, the technology increasing.
Mhm.
And one thing that people talked about a lot, mostly because they didn't understand what it was that Neuralink thing that they would put in the chips of people. Or they put a chip in the brains of people who couldn't move their arms and that sort of thing. So Neuralink isn't going to grant you any new senses like people think. It doesn't put information into your brain. It takes information out of your brain, but it stands to reason that eventually it will become an input-output kind of situation. You'll be able to put data on the chip by thinking, and conversely, the chip will be able to put data into your brain, which could possibly restore senses of some sort. What are the thoughts of people in your community about, like, if someone said to you, I got a chip that's going to restore your sight, you just got to wear a pair of robo goggles or whatever, you know, how many people do you think would jump at that chance, and how many people would distrust it?
Like Geordi from Star Trek or something.
Exactly. Yeah. The visor. Yeah.
No, I mean, it is crazy at how rapidly this stuff, particularly in like nano medical sciences and stuff like that. You know, I get that question a lot because, like, right now, my 16-year-old son just got his driver's license a month ago. And I'm at that point of, like, you know, thinking, you know, like, if you got your sight back, would you want to drive a car? And I don't think I would. Like, I don't. And I think I'm pretty happy where I am. And a lot of us are. That being said, it's still any condition, right? There are, you know, it's a whole spectrum of folks as to where they are living with their
Right.
varying ability. And I think in that sense, that definitely, if it can be empowering for people, you know, I mean, the challenge is as people live longer, just eye loss, you know, vision loss is going to increase just by the numbers, right?
Sure.
You know, folks over the age of 80, 50% chance that you're going to have significant vision loss along the way, right? Like age-related macular degeneration, like what you were talking about earlier, but other conditions as well, and glaucoma and stuff like that. So, you know, I think in a sense, it's not for me to say what others can impart with that technology, but I'm pretty happy where I am. It would be weird to just step out again. And they've done some breakthroughs with, like, you know, different parts of the eyes and cataract and things like that to remove, where people do get their sight back, and it's a challenge even for them to you know, kind of step back into the world. And I don't think I would take it myself, but I'm sure for some people, you know, like I said, the mental health is still a big thing, and that isolation is huge. I think for some people it could probably be empowering. It's going to be interesting. You know, I didn't think autonomous vehicles when I started working on Capitol Hill 10 years ago for driverless cars. We thought it'd be like 2040. And, you know, I took my first Waymo a year or two ago, and it was incredible in Phoenix and then Los Angeles. But it's, you know, this technology can be really empowering for some people, and for others, it's just not their speed. So
We tried taking a Waymo, and it was not a success
Not good?
in Las Vegas.
Did
Well,
you?
it was in like, it was in test mode still, and you
Oh,
had
right,
to go
yeah.
to a spot to get picked up and go to
Yeah.
it. Like it was very.
But it showed up early 2 miles away. It just wasn't. We never
Yeah.
got to do it.
Mhm.
Oh,
See, for,
yeah.
for me, I'm always denied ride shares with my guide dog, which is like so
Really?
frustrating. Oh, all
I
the
thought
time.
the
It
ADA
is
hasn't
huge.
fixed that for
They've
you.
they've tried, but it's the whole like they're 1099 contractors. So the rideshare
Yeah.
companies are like, we can't do anything, and then the drivers just cancel, and it's always cars mysteriously
wow.
disappear when they show up all of a sudden, or I've gotten in yelling matches with cab drivers even. But it's
You're kidding.
so
shocking
the
to
first
me.
time I took a Waymo was with my guide dog, and we were just happy as a feather riding in that car with nobody yelling at us.
Bet.
There you go.
That's wonderful.
Your film premiered June 27th,
Yep.
Carnegie Hall. That had to be quite an honor, premiering at Carnegie Hall.
It was
Big
cool.
shot.
I mean, it was neat because Helen had a close relationship with the Carnegies. And
Yeah.
it was real special.
Yep.
She spoke there in 2016, had a real moving speech before World War I, and got to feel the vibrations off the piano of Rachmaninoff when he played for her once, and
God.
she has some history at Carnegie, so it was really nice for us to do our New York and then our streaming premiere at Carnegie Hall. They were fantastic there.
Well, I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been to Carnegie Hall, you got to go. It's one of the greatest places on earth. It's just beautiful.
So much history.
A lot of history there.
It was one of those few moments in my life where I was like, is this for real? Am I standing on stage here introducing a film I produced and running a panel? It was like,
yep.
And it's like, the steps from where Bernstein was and others, and Helen 110 years ago. So it was cool.
No question. First feature-length film by blind and low-vision filmmakers to fully integrate open audio description into the storytelling. Born legally blind, Tony brings 3 decades of disability rights and storytelling work, plus now listen to this part, plus a sharp human perspective on access, culture, sailing, and piano. Big shot. You're a big shot.
I'm like Ringo. I'm just happy to be here, they say, right?
That's a great old line, Ringo.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, he was something else. Tony, I tell you what, we got to have you on more often talking about things. It's always nice to meet people who have, what some people would look at as a disability or whatever the situation is. But you've taken it on, you've handled it, you've done a wonderful job, and now you've devoted your life to helping other people. That's quite honorable, I would say.
It is an honor, and it's you all are fighting the good fight as well on the interwebs and waves and all that stuff. So love the show and keep up what you guys are doing as well.
Well, Tony, you got to come back. We'd love to talk to you soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Take care, y'all.
You too.
Tony Stevens, ladies and gentlemen, Assistant Vice President of Communications at American Foundation for the Blind. I love those interviews.
Where can we catch the show?
Apple TV.
Apple TV.
Yep, it's on Apple TV. Yep.
Nice. Okay.
But I mean, looking back at that thing, when I did find out my neighbor's grandmother was blind, I thought to myself, she's never seen anything in the world.
As a kid, you just can't even imagine it.
I would rather be born blind. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
No question.
Also, it's got to just be, I don't know. I mean, obviously for him, it's like, this is just the way it is and whatever. But it's like, he doesn't know what his son looks like.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
true.
that's right.
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're also judgy on what things look like. It's like, who
I know,
cares
but I
what
mean,
they
if
look
it's like if he had a lineup of 16-year-olds, he wouldn't be able to pick out his son if he
Yeah.
could see.
He could
you
pick
know,
out his
like,
voice. Sure.
I know, but if it was just like, here's a picture of a kid, he'd have no idea that it was his son.
Right.
Like if he gained his sight magically overnight, you know,
Yeah.
like that's just a weird thing to think about.
Well, it's interesting. He was talking about that nanotechnology because, I've been doing all this research on Alzheimer's, and there's a billionaire Indian doctor who has already performed a bunch of surgeries on people in China and in India, and they're bringing it to Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
These nano
Oh, yeah, you were
scissors
telling me
are the
about
size of an eyelash.
Really?
Yep. These little things can get into the brain, into arteries, and repair and fix things that a human being couldn't
God.
possibly ever do. It is, I mean, it's all very exciting stuff if it'll work.
Mhm.
And
Well,
if,
that's
Yeah.
the
you
deal.
know, and what we think of as restored vision, I don't know if it's going to look exactly like what we see.
Mhm.
Well, it depends on why you don't have vision. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes just the eye doesn't form correctly. The optic nerve is still there. So
Right.
theoretically, you could just plug an eye into the optic nerve and there you go.
Ah.
But sometimes the optic nerve gets destroyed. Sometimes part of the brain that deals with the sight gets destroyed.
Mhm.
And first we'll see eye transplants.
Mhm.
And then eventually we'll see things like optic nerve
Yeah.
surgery
Well,
and brain surgery to repair the
there's a surgeon, and I cannot find the article now, but there's a surgeon in Minneapolis that is saying that if you know how when they say when you're at like 30 you start having trouble with fine print and all that stuff.
yeah.
I
lens
didn't have that
accommodation.
trouble till I was like 45. I didn't need reading glasses till I was much older than generally thought, but almost everybody gets that, right?
Yes, literally. I think. Well, I don't think literally everybody. I think it's like 90-something%
Yeah,
though.
most-
Functionally, everybody.
Yeah, most people do. But apparently, if you have this innovative surgery that they're talking about before your nearsightedness gets too bad, you will never get cataracts, and it can fix a whole bunch of things in your eye.
Well, they're
it changes
probably
the
talking-
structure in the eye.
They're probably talking about lens transplants or artificial lenses, which have actually existed for quite some time.
Well, yeah, that's what cataract surgery is, right? Don't you get a new lens?
I think they give. Yeah, they just put in an artificial lens, right? Or a transplant. I don't know if it's a xenotransplant or what. But
Because you've had cataract surgery twice.
Mm-hmm. I should probably have it again too.
yeah,
I don't
because
know if you can. I'm not sure if you can have it over and over.
Yeah, I
again.
don't know.
I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if they grow back. I don't really know.
yes,
that
no,
much
they
about it.
put an artificial lens in when you do cataract surgery.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There
Does,
you
and
have it.
does everybody get cataracts too?
I don't think. Well, let's see.
Seems like most dogs do. I had
Yeah.
a horse that went
Yeah.
blind.
Dogs seem to get cataracts a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Let's see. 92% of people 80 and older have cataracts. So
Really?
yeah, it's another one of those things that functionally everyone will get them eventually
At how old?
at 80.
80.
80 and older. So, you know.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well.
That was a great show today. A really, really good guess.
Yeah.
Yes, were absolutely terrific.
I didn't know anything about the history of ventriloquism.
Yeah.
I
I think
had no idea that
I think
the
I have-
Oracle of Delphi
Yeah.
was a
I knew about the
ventriloquist.
Oracle of Delphi.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did not. Of course you did, because your house.
I'm
I
house.
think I have a little bit of what you call it, popophobia.
Puppet phobia. I
Puppet
think.
phobia.
I think
Oh,
it's
do you
puppet
really?
phobia.
I think I have a little bit of it. Like they just
They're
kind of
weird.
they creep me out a little bit. I'm just like I don't like
She didn't
when she
even
was
move it.
talking. I just was like I don't like this. Like I just was like
Huh.
not for me.
They're a little uncanny.
Not
but
for me. I don't know.
Amazing thing
And like
about
the
it is-
idea of having like 15 puppets around your I'm like
Well,
no.
that's probably because I think a lot of horror shows.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
horror
And yeah,
movies
like,
always,
yes.
there was,
Yep.
Well, it's
Chucky
like-
was a doll.
What's
and
that
all
one
stuff.
in Key West?
Oh
It's, like,
yeah,
got
the
a
house.
that
Oh,
like
yeah,
was
yeah,
You're supposed to say
trying to
thank you,
kill
Mr. President, or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, I don't
You know what I'm talking about.
I've just heard so many. Yeah, probably has something to do with that. And also, like, I also have that weird thing where maybe I watched The Brave Little Toaster too much as a child, and I like can humanize things
You're an animist.
easily, and so the idea of I don't know. Just it's not like terrible. I'm not like a puppet, but a little bit just like
Okay.
Thank you, Robert. Yes, that's right.
Oh,
Margaret.
thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cassie's talked
Robert.
about Robert a billion times. Like,
Robert the puppet.
We hadn't saw
puppet,
that.
yeah.
oh, that's right. You
Yes,
did, didn't
You
you?
did.
Saw
I
that.
did not go.
Oh,
you
that's
did?
Because I had the
right, yeah.
kids with me or
Oh.
Fawn as a baby or something, and I was like, I don't need to take her to see a haunted puppet as
Yeah.
an infant.
There
Actually,
you go.
Not really.
I would have gone, but
All right, I'll close with this one. I didn't want to mention it to him because it's he was a great guest, by the way. Our guest said
He was a great
really,
guest,
really
yeah.
good.
Yeah, he reached out to us. His
Yeah.
public relations person
Yeah.
emailed us.
yeah, he was great.
But when I was outside and this, neighborhood friend of mine, his grandmother, and I found out she was blind and all the rest of it, I will never forget because I used to sleep on the third floor of this house we lived in. And I was lying in bed just thinking about that whole thing. And I looked out the window and the moon was up in the sky. And I thought to myself, she's never seen that.
So you were feeling sorry for things that you think she's lost, but
Yeah.
she's never
Yes.
seen it.
No,
So
she's
she
never
can't
lost
miss
it.
something.
But I was
Yeah.
only 7, so
Right.
I couldn't
Well,
rationalize.
that's like I
anything.
said,
That
like
means you're
the
empathetic.
Hell, like the second graders writing a book about Helen Keller. It's like they don't have any idea.
No.
They're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, she couldn't see or hear
Right.
at all.
Mhm.
They're like, what?
Well, just trying to navigate the world has got to be.
Yeah,
A
especially
lot.
back then. I mean,
Yes.
Well, I
I always
still
thought-
remember trying to find the legs of that one lady.
Oh, my friend Kathy
Yeah.
Tallman. Yeah, she was in a boating accident. Probably people from Minneapolis remember this story. She was boating on the St. Croix River, and a drunk boater ran her over,
Cool.
Yeah.
and she lost both of her legs. And Andy, she moved to Florida because it was just too hard for her to be in Minnesota in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Nice and
And,
icy.
We met up with them, and Andy kept looking under her
I remember
wheelchair.
that. Yeah.
Like,
Where are
What
they?
are you doing? And she was giggling. She's like, kids do this.
You
all
just
the
dropped
time.
your mic.
They think I'm.
Oh,
I'm sitting on.
we
my
can't
legs.
hear you when you're
Yeah,
swinging.
they think I'm sitting on my legs.
Right.
Mm.
I actually just had a conversation last night with Ethan. It's like one of the last things I said to him last night. Because he wears glasses at school and when he watches TV, because he's got like a little bit of astigmatism. His vision's a little bad. It's not awful. He doesn't need them, but it helps prevent headaches and that sort of thing for him.
Mm.
And he was talking about like, you know, when he watches TV and then he gets done, so he takes his glasses off, and he said something about like, you know, Dad, you can take your glasses off because you're not watching TV. And I was
Right.
like, no, my vision is a lot worse than yours is. I need to wear those all day. And I told them about like this one time I went to Target Optical to get my glasses fixed, and they were like, it's going to be a little. They thought it was going to be a 10-minute thing. It's going to be an hour instead. And they're like, you can go shopping, you know, while you wait. And I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll go buy some stuff. It's Target. I know this place.
Yeah, you can always find something.
So I was without my glasses, going around shopping at Target, and I go down the aisle. Like I've been down this aisle a million times, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Oh,
I had no idea what I was looking at. I had to take my phone out and use it as like a periscope kind of situation
Oh my gosh.
in order to
Jeez.
navigate, like to see like what are these multicolored boxes that I can't even identify anymore. And he
Yeah.
was like, he hadn't ever really thought about the fact that, you know, my vision could have been that bad.
Yeah.
right.
And it was very
Have you
unusual.
ever thought
for
of
him.
getting LASIX?
I've thought about it, but I don't know. I'm at that age where you do start getting the whole like lens crystallization thing and you lose your accommodation and you need the reading glasses. And I talked to my optometrist about it, and I was like, what do you think? Should I get LASIK? And he said, one nice thing about your eyes, because they're so tuned toward you, that you will never need reading glasses. You just take your glasses off. There's your reading glasses.
Oh,
And it's true. Like if I take my glasses off, like sometimes like when it's dark, especially if I'm reading like this, I do feel that like, you know, it's a little hard to read. My eyes start getting a little fuzzy. But if I do this, I can read things all the way up close like this. I
oh.
can see every individual pixel on my phone like this.
Huh.
And I will always be like that because that's how my eyes are built.
Look at
Oh,
you.
weird.
So if I got LASIK, I couldn't do that anymore and I'd need reading glasses. So it's
Oh.
like, what do I choose? Reading glasses all day or seeing glasses all day? You know, it's
Yeah,
one of those things.
I think when they do the cataract surgery, some people opt to do one close and one far
Yeah,
away.
that
like
sounds
lens.
horrible. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I guess your brain adapts.
And then you, switch.
I don't know.
That's what they say, but I don't know. It's just it's like reading glasses, having that little bubble down there all the time. I think it would drive me insane. Or not reading glasses, you know what I mean? Bifocals. That's what I meant.
Bifocals.
Yeah.
All right, I have to go.
All right.
All right.
we can wrap
Well,
it up
I
that
can
way.
make one quick announcement. Alex, you don't have to be here for it because it doesn't really
All right.
impact you so much.
Okie
So we'll see you
dokie.
on Friday.
Sounds good.
What was that?
Hi,
The
Todd.
toilet.
Oh, it was one of
Kids in the
kids.
house using the toilet right by the mics.
Yep. I had a listener on Facebook ask me. So this listener drives 2.5 hours a day and likes to listen to our show.
Nice.
But because we put the shows out in 40-minute episodes, every 40 minutes, they have to look down at their phone and change the episode,
Right.
which is not ideal when you're on the road for 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So they're like, is there anything you can do about that? And I looked it up, and strangely enough, things like Spotify or that sort of thing don't really have the ability to do anything about
They
that.
don't have a rollover?
Apparently not. No, you
Oh.
can't just play the next episode.
Weird.
So what I did 2 or 3 days ago was I went and I upgraded our app, so it now does that.
Oh, good.
So if you
Good.
like the idea of having the episodes automatically play the next one, you can download our app. It's called Complete Disaster. When you go into an episode, there's a new little checkbox that says autoplay next episode. So if it's checked and you hit the end of the episode, it'll just keep on playing the next one. And by next, I mean, like, if you listen to part 1, it'll go up the chain to part 2 and then up to the chain to part 3.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. If you like the autoplay idea, download the app. That's the only place you are going to get it. Or YouTube, but I don't know if I'd use YouTube in the car because of the bandwidth situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Not unless you have unlimited data.
Right.
Well, there you have it. We had I thought it was a great show again today. And by the way, thank you. Our listenership keeps getting bigger and bigger. And you know, I will tell you one thing. I do understand that if we sat here and just ripped the hell out of the left or ripped the hell out of the right or read it, you know, we could build a very big audience out of the box. But we don't want to do that. We want to build it to people that
Some
are, you
days
know.
I do.
What's that?
I said some days I do.
Some days I do. Yeah.
I don't know how it doesn't get exhausting saying the same thing over
I
and
know.
over.
It's just how
But I
much
guess-
you hate somebody.
I guess if
Like,
you're getting
whatever.
a million views a day, then the untold riches that you're generating make it worth it. I don't know.
I guess.
Well, when I was younger, I suppose my show was kind of like that, but that was several years ago.
But you didn't just sit there and talk
No.
about how the president sucked over and over
No.
and over and over
It's
every day.
every day. I've been watching a lot of the podcasts. I'm sorry. I just, and I know Joe Rogan's got the biggest podcast by far in the world and all the rest of it, but I could not listen to that every day.
Well, he's not so political, I don't think.
Well, he's not political, but it's, I don't know. Well, I met Joe a couple of times and I didn't care for him. I don't know. He's just not my kind of guy. I guess.
Yeah,
is
I
the
don't know.
best way to put
I've
it.
never really listened to his show. I've seen clips of it and it seemed fine, but
Yeah.
it's not something I really care about enough to
Well,
seek
Yeah,
out.
he's
the,
fine.
the thing that he does that gets him, you know, a huge audience is he actually talks about stuff like when COVID was going on. It's like, is this real?
Yeah, that's
Are
a good
conspiracy
yes,
theories
that's
something
good.
that's going
Yeah.
on? Is
Yep.
Fauci really, you know, in bed with a Wuhan lab? Oh yeah, I guess he is. Which, you know, everybody
Yeah.
else said he absolutely wasn't. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, he actually talks about things that have supposedly been proven, you know, or disproven that aren't even true. So I think people really enjoy the fact that he's
Yeah.
willing to talk to people about things that are supposedly settled.
Yeah, and
you know?
again, because of a personal situation, I'm not his kind of guy, and he's not my kind of guy. So that entered into it when I did interview him a couple of times. So I don't dislike him or anything. It's just, I don't know. It's not my kind of show.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're building our audience because of you, and we want to thank you very much for that. But it's basically always going to kind of be about how can we make the world better, right?
Yes.
For blind
like-
people and ventriloquists alike.
And
Absolutely.
ventriloquist alike. She was terrific.
Did run
I
the
thought.
gamut.
I
We-
thought she was
we ran
wonderful.
the gamut today. We talked
I love
entertainment
that.
news, ventriloquism, what it's like to be blind. We talked about
Yeah.
the World Cup.
Yep.
Don't use your dishwasher in the middle of the day.
Yep.
You know.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll keep moving forward. And thank you. That, like I said, the audience is building every day, so we're getting there.
Beep,
Oh,
beep, beep, boop.
Yeah.
There's a fog upon LA. I'm excited for the older episodes in the archive if those ever go back up. Yes, I've gotten a couple people talking to me about how the archives on the site aren't working and they're not on Spotify anymore and that sort of thing. They are still there. They are still uploaded as episodes on the new host. I'm looking for a way to get those back up on the site. I don't think it'll be too difficult. I just have to make them into an RSS feed again. So
Yeah.
hopefully maybe Saturday or Sunday, I'll have the time to sit down and just do that again.
Okay.
But yeah, the anything older than 50 episodes right now, you can't access at the moment, which that does make up 99.9% of what people listen to is the most recent 50. But it's still, there's still plenty of people who like to listen to the old stuff. So, YouTube though, a lot of them are available going back probably 3 years at this point.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I will be working on that in the coming days.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much,
Right.
and we will talk to you on Friday.
Bye.
Bye.